Nation, Hangout number 452. We started about 15 minutes late because I had to have my proud guy moment, number 17, in and out of the shower without jerking off. Thank you very much.
Oh, what a great way to start the show. Oh, man.
Without jerking off. 15 minutes over here.
Boobs.
Ready to rock. Yes, and of course we will be talking about Sydney Sweeney and her boobs and her boobies and boobies, breasts, hands, chesticles, gazongas. Yep. If it's a good thing it's a good thing we're not. Yep, it's a good thing we're not on YouTube anymore because we would have lost our. I think that sets a record. Fastest. No, not quite the fastest time to getting our monetization cut. If I actually gave a damn about YouTube monetization, which I don't. So with me tonight is, of course, Rearson and Roger, who has also been having inappropriate relations with Rumble. But Rearson, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, good evening, gents and ladies, if there are any tonight. And if there are, I'm probably going to piss you all off, so that's fine. Yeah. Let the good times roll because it's going to be a doozy. Roger, up to you.
I'm Roger Hansen. You can find me on Rumble, Twitch, DLive, and YouTube, as well as Kick. I'm also on Teams, but I don't do very much on there. You can also find me on Discord at The Wonderful World of Weirdness. I try to stay away from platforms. I do have an X account. It's Roger Hansen at ROGLOL1973. But I really don't get on there very much. If you really want to contact me, you can find me at Discord, and you can find me on Teams at Live with Roger Hansen. So that's all I got, really.
Okay, let me just see here. All right, so I just suddenly remembered that I had forgotten to add BitChute. So welcome to the 4 actual people who are listening right now. Yep, Guy Power moment number 17. Yep, in and out of the shower, 15 minutes. Allow me to take this moment to rub that fact in the face of any woman that actually happens to be listening right now.
Oh, good Lord. The innuendos you have just been tossing about.
Innuendo?
Oh, we're going to have fun tonight, gents. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's sexy.
It's sexy. That's right, ladies. We're all single.
Not me. I have my glorious left hand, baby. I talk sexy to it all the time. How you doing, love?
You haven't divorced yourself from Pamela. Okay, great. No problem.
It's like once you start figuring out the bitches get ugly, dude, freaking you ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? That left hand stays pretty for the rest of your life, dude, no matter what.
Hey, you know what? That's going to be our first topic for tonight because that's where all this is going. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Mission impossible, because that's what women are. Impossible.
Well, I wouldn't say impossible. They're just...
damn near.
They're stupid. I better be careful because I do have friends that are females, so I'm going to end up getting in trouble hanging out with you two.
Well, you're screwed either way, so you might as well just... Up to you. Up to you. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, I mean, I deserve whatever torture that I get, and I prefer it that way, to be honest with you.
Oh, good God.
Just torture me. That's right.
That's right. You're in his left hand, man.
Bow, check a wow. Anyway,
I've heard that. I heard that I actually heard that earlier too. Bow chicka wow wow.
All right, so yeah, we're off to the races tonight. So for those of you who don't know, I am at. By the way, Rumble is at 198 followers now. So Rumble is going to pass 200 here very soon. But I am at BitChute, in terms of size, BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, MGTOW TV, Brighteon, and YouTube, which somehow is now surpassed 70 subs. I don't know how the hell that happened. Because I don't do anything on YouTube at all except post up archived content and post up my old content and Red Pill Nation content, which gets me to site news. It's been an interesting week. It got really bad and then it got okay, and then it got really bad and then it got okay again. I'm not gonna go into all of the freaking details as to what happened. But I am going to tell you that currently it is okay. But until a current work situation works it out, and I have a set consistent schedule with set consistent days off, the only thing that I will be doing will be RPN. Even if I have to move the RPN Hangout to a different day, that's going to be the plan. That's going to be the schedule from this point forward. I'm also going to give you a heads up that the topics this week are extremely Manosphere heavy. A lot of them are anyway. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of talk about boobs and red pill stuff and just general guy shenanigans.
Titties.
Well, prop titties.
Titties.
Exactly. So
Asian titties. Oh God. Oh.
Far left. So topic number one is.
Well, I mean, let's get back to the titties, man.
Yeah, we'll be talking about really boobies. All right,
like,
so
it's all horrible and stuff. Come on, dude. What's the world? I mean,
the world revolves around boobies.
I really want to, Roger. I really want to. Anyway.
All right, so topic number one, far left loses their collective minds over the American Eagle jeans commercial with Sydney Sweeney in it. Yeah, we're going to have some fun on that one. Two, Democratic
video.
What?
Are you going to show the video?
I forgot to upload it. I could upload it while one of you guys is talking. I could get it off of X, I guess. But no, I'm not going to show the video. I unfortunately won't show the video.
Spike the hammer, beating the meat.
You don't want to do that.
There's many a suspicious case of tendonitis and hating in the shoulder and so forth. Have occurred because of Sydney Sweeney. That's why we have Orange Man Bad Handball, so you can avoid sherry blisters down there. Don't forget, we also have Orange Man Bad Deep Tissue Rub for all of those cases of undiagnosed tendonitis in both your wrist, elbow, and shoulder.
Shit, I gotta order some of that for me too.
Get it before Mark Hamill buys it all.
Shit, get it before Rearson buys it all. What are you talking about? You got all excited when you mentioned that shit this year, dude.
Wait. Here it is.
Like he's going on a shopping spree and shit. You know?
Here's the Orange Man Bad theme song. Yeah, baby. Just you and your right hand.
But here at the Red
That's
Pill
right.
Here at the Red Pill Edition Hangout, we are not. We're an equal opportunity whacking off company, and if you happen to be a switch hitter or you play for the other side of the plate, that's fine too. We don't care.
Oh, no, it's okay. Well, Orange Man Bad works just as well with the LGBT plus community as it does with regular straight people.
Well, take your money no matter which hand you fucking jerk off to. There we go. Thanks, folks. Until then.
And with that, we go to topic number 2. Democrats face potential backlash after Democrat politicians face backlash after quote unquote potential racial assault in Cincinnati. Let's make bones. There's a lot that was going on with that didn't quite add up, but mostly it was the reaction of certain Democrat politicians and, of course, the chief of police, which, and I don't mean to denigrate women when I said this, they have a female chief of police.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. What could go wrong?
Yep. All right, topic.
Good.
All right. Topic number 3. Globalists trying to sneak Online Safety Act in various countries, USA and Australia, during peak vacation time. It's under the rules of Online Safety Act, or in the United States, KOSA. Topic number 4. Lunatic attempts to shoot up NFL headquarters, while another one tries to set fire to a local official in Nashville who also happened to be GOP. There is some rather interesting backstory on that one.
What?
Topic number 5.
Okay, all right.
U.S. Olympic Committee officially bans trans men from competing in women's events. By the way, the IOC has also pretty much gone and done the same thing. And topic number 6. CBS does a BS story about the Manosphere, Red Pill, and Joe Rogan. Oh, my God. That one is just like, it's the CBC, so you know it's absolute cringe.
Okay, I was going to say, because you said CBS.
CBC.
Okay.
CBC.
Oh, good God. Oh.
Be revolted. Be very revolted.
Oh.
Okay, so.
I'm ready for that one, too. Okay.
All right, so, but before we do, I just found out something about an hour before I came on the air. I was listening to, and ironically enough, because I don't usually listen to him very much, but I listened to Matt Walsh in the background. He was talking about that they were found not guilty, those 5 hockey players that were found not guilty on the charges from that topic we covered last week. Well, I found out some rather interesting things about that topic.
Which is,
if the woman involved has her pants off and is diddling herself in front of 5 guys and saying, "Is one of you going to fuck me?" If that's not fucking consent, I don't know what actually does qualify. Yeah, I gotta. I have to point out something. The prosecution and this had to come from somebody up high up politically, because it's like there's no way a prosecutor would look at that, like an independent prosecutor would look at that and go, "Yeah, I'm going to prosecute that." Also, for some strange reason, after she had finished being banged, the hockey player in question, who had finished doing it, for some reason, he didn't really feel like he wanted to bond with her. Gee, wonder what.
So, some random enough skank, probably to some degree or another, is a feminist and girl power, and I can fuck around like a guy can, but I'm like a guy, I'm going to regret the next day because I didn't get what I wanted, which was not just the dick, but I want the dick to come along and listen to me because the smart doesn't want to. And all of a sudden, my fee-fees are hurt. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep, and the prosecution and the government and the press all probably knew in one form or another that was happening and chose to try and prosecute the guys anyway.
Oh, God. Okay.
Just food for thought there.
Well, the only food she was getting was that dick in her fucking mouth to shut her up for a little fucking while. But I'll get into that with topic number 1.
And with that, and of course, don't forget, I am also at Facebook, Minds, Gab, MeWe, Getter and TLB talk. At some point. Well, no, I'll when I actually get around to posting up at. And by the way, we are also officially now at Twitch and Kick. We have one full listener listening to us on Twitch. Do we have anybody listening to us on Kick? Let me just take a look here. Okay, where is the... Is it streaming on Kick? Hold on a second here. We should be streaming. Yes, we are streaming on Kick. Where is... No viewers yet. Although that may change in a little bit. But yeah, there are no viewers. We have one viewer on Twitch and 3 on Rumble currently. There may also be somebody listening on BitChute. No, unfortunately, BitChute decided to crap out on me. And this on Odyssey. Is it working on Odyssey? Oh, look at that. It's not even on. Oh, well, that was... there's one currently waiting. How the hell do I turn the live stream on here?
No clue.
Roger? Roger? Do you know how to turn the stream on here? We got one guy waiting here, but I mean, it doesn't apparently it's not starting, even though I started. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I might just have to take that one down. I don't know what's going on there. We are definitely not up at BitChute, so I can turn that one off. So anyway, that's it. So without any further ado, we've been going on for a good solid 17 minutes, which is a bit long for us to actually get into the topics. So without any further ado, let's just get into the topics. And topic number 1. Before we actually begin, let me just say one thing about this topic. Boobs! There we go.
Titties.
But
I
Sydney,
love them titties. Especially when she's on all fours.
Sydney Sweeney did a smoking ass hot jeans commercial. And there was a play on words during it where she talked about having good genes. And by the way, they are good genes, and yeah, they are good genes. Ugly feminists, wokesters, and black people absolutely lost their shit, which is actually, I'm quite happy about that. They immediately started pulling out the Nazi and started comparing it to what the Nazi Ministry of Propaganda would do.
Sieg Heil, my Kampf.
Yes, you must use a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, big-boobied movie star to pass your genes on. Because I like the massive boobies, But that's what we must do. Except, of course, for the fact that
she ain't French Canadian.
Except
I had to throw that one at you, man. I really did.
Except, of course, for the fact that the owner of American Eagle is Jewish.
Is you correct? No, we can't have that shit.
Nope. So, yeah, apparently all those Jewish Nazis out there making us watch all these commercials, trying to convert us all to Nazis. And because as we all know, Jews love to convert people over to Nazism and spout Nazi propaganda. That's what they sure as fuck do. The amount of individuals who, and I've seen some of the stupidest fucking takes on this one that I could believe, that I can't, just leaves me stunned. It's like I've seen guys on YouTube go, well, the racial overtones for this one are really, really obvious. And it's like, no, you know what it is? You guys are pissed off because
you're not sexy enough for guys who want to fuck your brains out. That's what it is.
I mean, Lizzo even inserted herself into that. When she stopped eating at the all-you-can-eat salad bar in her local town to comment on this, and then she had to get behind her bodyguards because Captain Ahab was on the prowl, and she had to go hide from Captain Ahab. I was kind of disappointed too. I was hoping to finally lend me that brown whale, but I couldn't do it.
Oh, good God. Dude, I'm not going to eat fucking sushi for a long fucking time. Thank you. Oh. No fucks to give, folks. Yeah. No fucks to give.
0 fucks given. Absolutely 0 fucks given. But look, here we go. Here's a nice picture of Sydney Sweeney to start the topic off. Yes, motorboat sound.
I need my bomb. More bomb.
Oh my God, we are so bad today. No, they're all just pissed off because.
And you wonder why you wonder why that I told you, like, dude, just hold this off for a little bit because I want to get a couple of pints of me because I got unleashed on these fucking dumb cunt feminists.
Oh my God! It's not just feminists. It's like literally there's one black guy, and it's like, well, you take a look, you take a look at the commercial, and you could see this clearly got Nazi overtones, and it's like, my response to this guy is,
male feminist.
Owner of
change your name to Trudeau. Change your last name to Trudeau, and you'll fucking fit right in. You useless dumb.
Owner of the company is Jewish, you stupid fucking moron.
No.
Anyway.
I mean, seriously though, like, where is the commercial now? Like, I've been trying to figure out where this commercial is, and it's nowhere.
It's on X, I think. Hold on a second. Let me just see if it's on X.
She's supposed to be working on a car, right?
Well, yeah. Let me see if it's on X. But,
really what it comes down to, and let's call it for what it is. There's a woman on TV that is fuckable. I wouldn't go after her, but if she said, Rearson, I want you to vote me, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And you know what? Those fucking mids, those feminists, and for all of you women that are disagreeing with this, you're fucking just going off in your own little fucking tents in your own little world, because deep down, you know, I'm not a 10, but you're not a 10. You will never be a 10.
They haven't had.
Well, actually, I would say Sydney's more like of an 8 or 9. That's just me.
Okay, well, whatever the case may be, whatever numeric value you will give her, I wouldn't pursue her. But if she was a bitch and heated at the moment, sure, why not? I'll do the deed. I'll pump her, I'll dump her, and I'm gonna walk away. Hopefully without a fucking kid, but I would do it. As for these women that are losing their collective shit, if you had lower expectations, if you had realistic expectations, you would realize you're not attractive. You know it, but your fucking female goddamn collective hive mind is saying, we're all 10s. No, you're not. Okay, you know what? It's a 10? Gorlock. And again, what's Gorlock? A 10 on the fucking Richter scale. And that's only because she, and I'll use the terms incredibly loosely, just like his ass is. Oh, sorry, her ass probably is. Yeah, I'm a 10. I'm a baddie. Oh, no, you're not. Biologically, you're male. And guess what? You gave up. You took the easy way out to say that you're going to be a woman and fucking whatever else. And I'm just getting started.
Am I the only guy that's getting really sick of the Cloudflare fucking confirmation bullshit?
I'm not getting the Cloudflare shit, but yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay, wait. There we go. Okay, I've got commercial one. I'm downloading it right now. Roger, talk for a little bit while I get these two commercials loaded up.
The only thing I can really say is this, and this is important. Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Oh yeah,
yes, she does.
She does. Especially when she's bent over, you can look through, look down her top. Those are great jeans.
Well, see, I would normally not give women like
the time of day.
No, I mean a good appraisal when they got small boobs, but like she's got that body type where the small boobs kind of look good on her. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
you
yeah,
you know what I mean, like that fit, but where. It doesn't matter if she's got big boobs or not.
Oh, well, she's got the most lusciousest rack since Jennifer Love Hewitt. Well, and she isn't nearly as bitchy either, by the way.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Love Hewitt had tits?
Yeah, she did. Later in her life, not when she was younger.
Oh, okay. Was that before or after seeing her surgeon?
That was during the time... That was during the time that she was doing that show where she worked at a massage parlor.
Bow chicka wow wow.
That was about the best she had to offer with boobs.
Wasn't she in the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer or something like that, or am I wrong?
Yeah, but her boobs were small back then.
Oh, she had itty bitty titties.
She's got big boobs for an actress. She's got a nice rack for an actress.
Now she does.
Well, I guess that's the best you're gonna get. That's the best you're gonna get with money.
Well,
she ain't got it.
I wouldn't turn her away. Don't get me wrong, dude.
As I said, man, I wouldn't say no to Sydney Sweeney to bang her braids out for a night. But would I pursue that, or would I want a long-term relationship with that? No, not my thing.
We aren't talking long-term relationships. We're talking...
Yeah, pump and dump. Yeah, I get it. I know. Believe me, I know. And why? Because we're guys. Why? Because we have testicles. What do the testicles do? Millions and millions of sperm are produced every day, and we just want to hold to just...
I want in. That's what they did. That's what they want. They want in.
Yep.
I want in. And yeah, exactly. Now, am I going to make any apologies from what I'm going to say tonight? Fuck no. Because I don't care anymore. I just don't.
All right.
Well, everything that goes along with this whole... I'm going to tie this back to the episode that I was on. We were talking about, what's her name? Riley Gaines?
Yeah.
WNBA. This is a fucking classic example of women tearing women down because there's one of them. It's like the Japanese proverb: the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. And that is collectively what women are all about. They hate competition. Now, between the three of us, will there be some gossip? Sure. But only when it's warranted, only because of logical observations or, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to mention names, done in the past, but I'm not going to go there. But that's how basically men are. Look, have you noticed an issue with, well, yeah, I have, Whereas with women, you need to walk around with a fucking Roman breastplate on the front and back, more especially the back. Because those bitches are fucking nasty to each other. I mean, I have, from my spouse, she ended up working for an older woman. I don't remember what the job was, doesn't really matter what. But when there were younger, more attractive women, that manager, whatever she was, she got her fucking panties all bunched up in her fucking cunt. And she made it basically priority number one to make that younger woman's life absolute fucking hell. And you know what? They don't teach that shit to women in fucking business school. It's all about how men are going to hit on you and male harassment and all that other fucking shit. Because if they were to talk about this, if they were to actually bring it to another woman's attention, well, guess what? You're younger, you're more attractive. Guess what? You're going to be hated on. And that collective attitude is exactly what we're seeing with Sweeney. Now, again, I don't care for this woman one way or the other. But it is the women that should be dyeing their fucking hair, which should rival a fucking Amazon tree frog, because both are just as fucking toxic, and no man in his right mind should even want to touch that, because you're going to at best, you're going to be paralyzed for a little while. If not, you're going to fucking die.
And she will turn into a toad.
I lost you at breastplate. The moment you said breastplate, I was...
Titty plates.
Oh yeah. Well, the Sydney competition, Sydney Sweeney is ever loving mounds of two lovely mounds of competition for every woman out there.
Well, here's the other thing as well too, is that 80% of men are going to be 80% of men are going to be ignored by 80% of the women out there.
Right.
Because these dumb fucking cunts think that they're more special than they're not just because they got a pussy. And you wonder why that it's just easier for me and other men like myself. They're basically just going to say, you know what? I'll pay for it. I get my biological need taken care of. One and done. I'm gone. But thanks. See ya. Goodbye. See ya. Don't want to be ya. And she is a genuine threat to their incredibly insecure sense of femininity. And I mean, I was watching between Paul Joseph Watson and It's a Gundam. And with It's a Gundam, there was this... She was an overweight piece of shit. I can't say it anymore. She had the I can't call her a cow. I think maybe more of a sow.
Well, she stays inside because she's actually afraid that Cowboy might rope her and brand her. But let's not get into
well, hey, I don't know what goes through her fucking mind, because enough women have this rape fantasy as well too. So don't look at me, man, because women are fucked. Oh, and okay, I just came up with this fucking whole connection earlier today. Back in our D&D games, game days, whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it. Roger, did you play that stuff too?
2 weeks ago, is that?
No, we're gonna go.
We're talking about back in the day. Come on,
back in the day, barefoot. Rocky and I were playing. Okay,
way back 2 days ago. Shit. You trying to kid shit.
In the world of online free porn, where you're the product, 2 days ago was a long time.
Okay.
A long time.
I'm getting over a cold. Don't make my throat hurt. That's what she said.
I'll assume that was a she. Anyway. I'm getting worse as I'm getting older.
Oh my God, we are so racy tonight. All right, go ahead, finish up, Steve.
No, I'm not done for a little bit. I'm sorry, man, but
he's on a roll.
Oh, roll.
I'm gonna grab coffee, so talk for a while.
But looking back at everything that I've been into in terms of spirituality, there was the text of Tiamat being a force of chaos, and it was basically attributed to being a woman or female, and then they had to bring in law and order, and that was Marduk, which was male, and that was the planet Jupiter. And I think to myself, it's like, they're not that bad. And then I'm watching the Sydney Sweeney shit, and I'm like, yeah, the fucking Babylonians, the ancient Babylonians, had this whole fucking thing all figured out. Women are nothing but a massive pain in the ass. They're chaos personified, because if left unchecked, their emotions will fucking explode into anything and everything, and to be right in your face. I realize that this may seem a bit of a stretch and whatever else, but it's like, no, they weren't wrong. They absolutely were not wrong. Like, it's, she's got a great set of genes. Yeah, she does have a nice set of genes, and she's got a nice ass. Unlike 170 plus, 180 pound plus fucking wannabe land whales that are walking around thinking you're fucking God's gift, and you've got this laundry list of things that the guys have to be.
Women that heavy are God's gift to the whaling industry. Continue.
Or V. I'm sorry, man. I know he can't defend himself, but he's gone on the record of being a chubby chaser. He'll stick his dick into almost anything, really, and he don't care. Okay. Let's go back.
I've never denied it. I like fat chicks too.
But if she won't say no, most guys will be like, okay, sure.
You know why, though, don't you?
No.
They have to have boobs if they're going to be overweight.
Fat chicks know what they get, and they appreciate it. Now, you take a woman who's been skinny all of her life, and she don't give a damn about you. She just... It's all about freaking the way she looks and the way he looks. And
I know. Yeah.
But you get even like a skinny woman who is fat at a younger age, they still appreciate the fact that, they've got a good man. But
I know one female like that, and that cunt still kind of lives in my head, but not nearly as much as she used to.
Mm-hmm.
And with the last messages I got from her, I have never been so happy being single. No, you've never been happy. Mm-hmm. Period. You have never been happy.
Well, I got to point out that happiness and that sort of thing is a state of mind.
Yeah.
And it's not based, it generally is not a good idea to be basing your happiness on external values. That's just been my experience.
External thinking, period. Like, animal instincts is based off of external thinking. Animals, when they live their lives, all they do is think externally. Like, it's about getting food. It's about...
Jesus, what the fuck is that?
You know what I'm saying?
That's related to one of the topics.
Oh, good Lord. Her hair... Okay, my hair is more naturally colored than hers never will be.
All right, continue. Sorry, Roger, we need to take this topic out, so finish it off.
Yeah, okay, I'll shut up. Try to.
Now, we're still talking about the hot chicks, though, right?
Yeah, we're still talking about Sydney Sweeney in the ad, yeah.
Now, like Sydney Sweeney, I for me personally, yeah, she's a beautiful girl. And there are a lot of beautiful chicks out there, but I don't take that stuff seriously when it comes to that, because I've told you guys I've been celibate, and I voluntarily chose to be celibate, and the reason why I did that is because I knew that I was a sick person who was getting into sick relationships. So with me, when it comes to a lot of stuff, when it comes to the way women look and everything, here after I actually went celibate, I started appreciating women, like there's actually beautiful women that look beautiful, and there's some that are heavier set, whatever, and they're beautiful too, it's in how you treat a woman when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Well, I will say this, there have been a couple of I would say not morbidly obese but larger. Mm-hmm. I will tell you first of all, about the larger women. All right. First of all, the ones that I have been with, they had a couple things in common. One, they were larger, but they weren't fucking like morbidly obese.
Mm-hmm.
Two, regardless of how much, they were carrying a few extra pounds, but they weren't like super fat. They were pleasant to be around. They weren't bad people, right? And they looked after themselves. And three, they had boobs. Okay, that's on.
And yeah, the boobs are important, but I mean, if you can find a skinny chick that freaking has boobs, that's great too. You know what I mean? But like, when it comes to this chick right here, she's got it seems like she's actually, you know, starting to, or at least she's speaking out on a lot of things. Like she got that publicity and everything because she apparently didn't agree with a lot of these liberals' point of views, or these wokesters' point of views. I hate calling them liberals because, like, I believe in like classic liberalism and like John Locke and stuff like that. And I think that
leftists. Call them leftists.
No, not even like. Well, yeah, you could do that, but then like, you know how we used to have somebody who I know you guys don't want me to mention, but he used to come on and always spill that word radical out. Like, when you hear the word radical and the radicalism, like that's a whole different category all off on its own. You know what I'm saying? That's like the people in Paris, France during their revolution that was cutting off freaking heads. You know what I'm saying? So like, you calling them a leftist is more socialist than it is like a radical, and that's what these wokesters are. They're radicals. They want to round you up and freaking put your head in the guillotine. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to talk any conspiracy like back in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, what really boggles my mind is I will see these posts up at Twitter and Instagram, and they say, "Oh, it's not fair that these people have all that money." And I was like, I look at them and go, "Yeah, you want to know what? You're not entitled to a goddamn cent of it either."
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, you're not entitled to anything that they made. Oh, they didn't earn it. Oh, well, actually, yeah, they kind of did, right?
Yeah.
It's
every single person who's got money is just privileged, and it was given to them by their parents or some shit. You know what I mean?
Like, Donald Trump's billion. I mean, he inherited a nice nest egg, but I mean, it's like,
but
he earned his money. He earned his money. He had to go through battles in New York City, no less, to make his fortune. You know, I mean, regardless of whether you like Trump or not, man, like he had to deal with all that corruption in New York City primarily to get to where he was, right? Mm-hmm. And you know that's he didn't just make that money on his own, or that money that he made just didn't pop into his account all by itself, right? Anyway, we're kind of getting off topic here. Does anybody else have more to say about Sydney Sweeney other than boobs? And then we'll move on to the next topic.
Do you have naked pics? Like anything like
titties.
Just naked.
I don't have any naked boobs. Naked titties. Be quiet.
Calm down, man. Shit. He's getting ready to choke. He's getting ready to choke to death on something. Like, stay away from the refrigerator while you're doing that shit, because you don't want to be eating.
No choking the choke.
Okay, so you know what? Unless you have anything else to say on this one, we're going to move on to the next topic here. So let me just timestamp this baby.
Oh, fuck. Oh. I need a cigarette.
Come on.
I do too. Shit.
And I don't smoke.
Well, I mean, I don't. Well, I had a smoke earlier, and like that topic just made me want to freaking smoke a cigarette. It's like.
Oh, describe the. Just hold that a second here. Let me just get something ready. All right, describe your need for a smoke here, Roger.
I need a smoke so bad. I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my bones as I reach down.
No, your bone. Come on, get it right.
As I reach down.
Oh dear.
I think I think to myself, Sydney Sweeney, I'm going
You
to.
have great genes.
She has
Oh my!
Oh yeah.
What else?
Okay,
Is that like a Tropicana kind of song there, dude? What the heck, dude?
that's that's Love Rhythms on.
Dude, you killed the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I thought I was in the Philippines and shit. It's like,
if I go there, I ain't coming back.
That you would, I would come back because I don't find Philippines real attractive. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic here. All right, topic number 2. And I'm sure if V was on, he would probably have something to say about this. But V's not here. He's probably busy off trying to romance Lizzo in some form or fashion. But
good God, if it had to either hurl emptied my fucking stomach at that point willingly. Those. I'm sorry, but you just clapping the no. I ain't clapping those cheeks like that. Fuck no. Oh
my goodness, calm down, man.
Okay, so let's just get into the next topic here. So
that bitch helped ruin Star Wars. Anyway.
Something about Star Wars, I heard.
Oh, Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
Okay, all right, let's get into topic number 2. Okay, topic number 2. Well, there was this nice white couple in downtown Cincinnati at a jazz festival, and they had oh, wait, there is one last thing we got to do before we move on. Sorry. One last thing we got to do.
What?
Yes, here we go.
No.
I did manage to download both the commercials, so here we go.
Oh. Ooh. Yep. Oh, I'd slap that too.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
Oh, she does. Get a Mustang. Is that Shelby?
I'm not here to
I
try
don't
to sell
know.
American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. I wouldn't even do that. But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
You see what I did there, right? Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
Oh my God.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
Guys, I got them all.
There we
That's
go.
a
Just let it. Just
Sydney
keep
Sweeney
looping.
has very canes.
This is the rest of the episode right here. Just keep on going.
Hi, I'm Sydney Sweeney, and I'm from Spokane, Washington. I can work as a local hire as well, though, and I'm available for the American Eagle jeans campaign shoot.
Profile and hands, please.
Profile of the butt.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
Next.
Oh yeah, she does.
And that's it for that. Okay, let's move on to the.
Put that on loop and leave it there.
Yeah, that's it for that's it for that. All right, so
15 minutes, man. 15 minutes. That's all I need.
15 minutes. I think you need about 5, if that.
Well, see,
okay.
you know what that reminds me of the most, though? That one girl that was on Transformers. Whenever.
Oh, Megan Fox, the one who somehow magically had 3 trans kids. Yeah.
Yeah. She got
God.
real popular over the same thing with the car, but she was like, working on the engine in shorts. Bam, dude. Freaking everybody just picked up on her. You know what I mean?
Well, she's bi, so...
Oh, yeah, she's also fucking crazy. And,
I do.
and then
Oh,
she
yeah.
somehow miraculously
she
set
is.
27 billion to 1 odds of having 3 fucking trans kids. And, of course, right, she divorced a stable providing guy to go...
Fucking slut.
divorced a stable provider to go marry a rap star. Yes, sirree, Bob. Yeah, real fucking winner she is.
She got any naked pics?
Oh, so she's probably around somewhere. But anyway, let's move in. We've been going off on
That was the last topic. You know what I'm saying? It's like he said, "Oh, before we go on, I got something."
Fucking rookie. That's it, man. Just edging. Not ready yet.
Like, now he's like, "Oh, calm down, guys. Calm down." When I started it, Mr. Naroki 5. It's not my fault.
All right. So anyway, V has joined us. Unfortunately, V is too late to comment on Sydney Sweeney.
Yes,
so
he is.
comment on Sydney Sweeney.
Come on, why not? We've got
Come
this
on, V.
already.
Yeah, V, come on in here.
Guys, we've been on this topic. It's like 50. We're 51 minutes in already.
Is that
I got one thing to say. That's it.
Okay, all right, okay. Shut up, Pete.
All right. So,
All right.
you want to talk about good genes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's got some thick, juicy lips,
Oh, yeah.
high cheekbones,
Oh, yeah.
cat-like eyes. She looks like every black girl I've ever been with.
Oh God.
Let's talk about some good genes. All right.
Is that the only thing they're good for? Is the thick lips?
No.
Dude,
Just asking.
Hey.
Just asking.
I'm going to tell you.
she's got the DSL. All right.
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
talking
saying.
internet connection.
That's what I'm saying. Do they have a nice set of DSLs?
So I agree with American Eagle. Nice genes.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And on that note, bound.
Okay, guys. Okay, we are now at 52 minutes in, and we still haven't gotten to topic 2.
What did you expect? Did you expect less than this? I mean, seriously, the first.
No,
topic,
I didn't.
the first topic, dude. Like everybody has been talking about Sydney Sweeney for the last week and a half. I think it is.
Well, I've been in the hospital for the past week, and my roommate only liked to watch Fox News. So guess what I got to solve? The over and over and over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have a massive case of tendonitis in only one hand? Just asking.
I did. I wasn't in the hospital. My hand hurts, dude. I'm like, damn, dude. Come back over.
Oh my God! There is no way that this episode is ever getting on YouTube. This episode is never making YouTube, man. Oh my God! I'm going to attempt to post it up at YouTube, but I know it's not going to make it up on YouTube. All right, so are we done here? Because we need to move on to the next topic.
I need a cigarette. Oh. That thing we all do.
All right. So, topic number 2. All right. So, there was a nice couple in Cincinnati, and they were leaving a festival. It was also on the same night as the Reds game, and I don't know whether they were in the bar or whether they were on. Well, the assault happened on the street, but a group of about 3 or 4 black dudes got an altercation occurred. It looked like it was an extended altercation. They assaulted him, and when his current girlfriend tried to pick him up, they assaulted her as well. And again, right, we don't know the full story. Like, allegedly, he may have said something to them. But then again, you know what? If you got 3 or 4, and this doesn't necessarily apply to just one particular group, right? Like, I mean, I have run across a group. I've had to go turn a street corner on a couple of occasions when I saw a group of about 5 or 6 white kids going down the street. I mean, this is not something that is specifically related to race, because I mean, I've seen other groups do this. I've seen Native kids do this as well. The issue was, though, is that it was black on white violence, and if that's that part, again, that does happen. But the part that made it really bad is, first of all, the mainstream media tried to cover it up, and then when the mainstream media couldn't cover it up anymore, they made a bunch of allegations about the white couple, and then of course some local politicians weighed in on it. And specifically, and remember that woman that I posted up earlier here. I'm going to post her photo up here again, so that Rearson can gag a little bit.
Asshole.
Yeah, here it is. This one. This is that one. Victoria Parks. Yeah, she actually tweeted that. They begged for a beat round. I'm grateful for the whole story. Here's the thing. She didn't know exactly what had happened. She just tweeted that without knowing the full story.
Well, at least she spells her last name with a K, and that's rather than 2 X's. Just saying.
So what ended up happening is that the mainstream media is attempting to cover this up because certain politicians couldn't keep their fucking mouths shut. And, of course, you've also got the issue of a certain group of people committing a disproportionately large number of the crimes, and this white dude saying something to this group of black kids. But apparently these black kids had also been following this was an elderly white couple too, by the way. They had been following this elderly white couple for about a block and a half. So there may have been some bad intent there, but it's got racial overtones. Certain politicians weighed in without knowing all the facts. The mainstream media, when they found out what was going on, a lot of the places just basically chose to ignore the story or cover it up or try to brand it as something that it wasn't.
Shocker.
And of course, right, all three of the 4 of them have been arrested. Photos are currently up right now on the thing. The leader of the group, and this should come again. This should come as no surprise, because it's like just like that individual who we talked about, who tried to shoot up the NFL offices in New York City. The guy who was the leader of this group had a history of violence and drug use, and even a history of mental disorders.
Oh, good Lord. What could possibly go
and a criminal record. Yep. And it's like, of course, right, if they had bothered to, just like when it came to Sydney Sweeney, and pulling out the Nazi card without realizing the head of American Eagle is fucking Jewish. Same thing here. You had a bunch of politicians commenting on this issue without having actually even so much as looked at what the issue was and what had happened and so on and so forth. And there's still some confusion as to what actually happened. I'm going to just speculate here on my part. I'm guessing, because I've seen this at public events before. There will be gangs of kids or older, like early 20s, late teens. They'll be wandering around in groups near like large public events. And they have this tendency to want to pick off fucking stragglers. People who kind of wander away from the crowd to go to their car or whatever. That's the reason when you park your car in a public parking space outside of an event, you need to be paying particular attention if there are any groups of generally youths just kind of hanging around in the parking lot, not doing anything. I've had a couple of close calls with this myself, right? At one point, when I first got my car, at one point I had to stop off at this Walmart. Yeah, stop off at this Walmart, and the parking lot was a little bit full, so I parked towards the back. And I ran towards the door because this Walmart was almost closed. And I got in, got my stuff, and kind of came running back out. And while I was coming back out, I had noticed this group of kids that had been kind of hanging off about 300-400 feet away from my vehicle. When I stepped out of the Walmart and looked over, I saw that they were paying an inordinately large amount of attention to my vehicle. I did the thing with my keys. I took the shiniest key I had and kind of put it in my hand and kind of made it really obvious that made sure that the glowing part, the shiny part, was visible. And I walked towards the vehicle and I kind of let them see the reflection. I was holding something shiny and metallic and that possibly looked sharp as I was walking towards the vehicle. And then they saw me and I gave them a look and they backed the fuck off, right? Because, yeah, they're really brave until they realize that this person that they're going to try to mess with might potentially put a couple of them in hospital.
I had no idea you were a Green Beret.
Yeah. I'm not. I've got martial arts training. I've also got a lot of safe in the city training, and I also know about this thing called keying. Right?
You are one bad mofo.
Yeah.
Who's this chick on the screen though? That's all I care about. This American outfit. Who is this hot chick? This hot babe?
Oh, that's a certain woman whose initials are SS with luscious boobies. Okay.
Oh, okay. Just wanted...
Have you never seen the show Euphoria?
I've heard of it.
It's good. I hate to say it, but it's good.
Isn't that what most men have once we've blown our load, whether solo or with a partner? Just asking.
Or solo looking at the partner.
Well, that works too. Whatever works. No judgment here, gents. No.
Well, I'll tell you this: in the show, you get to see her naked twins.
Oh yeah.
Which show would that be? Because I suddenly feel urged to go buy that particular DVD.
Euphoria.
So my woman made me watch the show called Euphoria. I think it's 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay, I'll make a note of it. But anyway, yeah. So
he lost all concentration when you said freaking you could see her boobs. He forgot everything before.
Oh, it's all about sex. It's not just her.
Yeah,
the show is pretty good.
Yeah, anyway, so yeah, boobs. So anyway, but not the particular topic. So yeah, they've been charged. A bunch of politicians. Well, one city council woman, the one whose face I showed you, the one that made Rearson's almost start to retch uncontrollably, she is facing a recall for opening her mouth up without actually knowing what the fuck was going on. And, of course, it has racial overtones, so naturally the mainstream media is ignoring it, but the alt media is running fucking wild with it. And, and I'm going to talk about the community that I belong to. I have worked at loss prevention more than a few times in the past 10, 15 years. And I'm not going to lie. I have apprehended and arrested a disproportionately large number of Native Americans, even though I am Native myself. Right? That's just kind of the way it is. We don't necessarily identify by race, but even if you don't identify by race, if you've been a floor walker long enough, you can just kind of you can literally almost sense them coming in the door that they're going to try and do something before they even get into the store. Sometimes, I've had occasions where I've, and this is no word of a lie. At one point, I left the store. I was walking toward, because I didn't have my car at this point. I was walking towards the LRT, and I saw this group of 3 kids walking back into the store. And it was like, I knew what they were going to do. I turned around, went back, caught them for shoplifting, and then then I signed in and signed out, and then I went back. It's like, yeah, that's happened actually a couple of times where I've walked out the door and I've seen somebody coming in and I knew what they were going to do. So it's like, yeah, it's that sort of a thing. And with that, we will go to Roger for the next comment.
Oh, you caught me off guard. Well, for me, like, I don't know really how to say this, but like this kind of shit's been going on for quite some time. You know what I mean? It's like you hear one of these things, you hear them all. It's just like with in St. Louis when they were having that riot or that protest riot.
Yeah.
You know, they were talking about this crap like freaking black kids were running around beating up white people all over the place, and it was supposed to be within my area, and I'm like maybe 6 hours away from St. Louis, okay? And like they were trying to say that it was happening over here in Cape Girardeau, and I've got friends that live in Cape Girardeau, so none of that stuff's happening here. It was like that was complete garbage, you know. And then like Carbondale, man, you got a bunch of white people going out there and protesting because it was going on. You know what I mean? Had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that what happened in St. Louis. It was just a bunch of white liberal freaking protesters that wanted to be heard. You know, there's all I'm saying is like when a lot of that stuff happens, I don't really pay attention to it anymore. It's just like that gay dude up in Chicago. He tried to fake the fact that he got beat up, and come to find out, the Chicago police found out that he had staged it and paid the 2 guys to do it under a camera. And yeah, you know, he turns around and gets caught, and they were going to push it to the extent of the law. And
Juicy Smollett.
And what they did is they turned around. He was able to get off on it. He was able to get away with doing that stuff. It cost the taxpayers money for him doing that stuff. And then, you know, it was the police department that actually had a problem with it. You know, said, look, man, we don't want to let this go. We want to push it to the full extent of the law. So they reopened it. And the courts went in and shut it down finally, and it was done. And this was just nonsense that didn't have to happen, you know what I mean? Because people are trying to be protesters and cool like that. It's a trend now, you know what I mean? I'm just sick of it, so that's all I got. God bless America. You guys know this is like the greatest nation that has ever existed on the face of the planet.
And that sure as fuck is in Canada.
You know. God bless America. God bless America.
All right, V, you're up.
Yeah. And where did this happen? Cincinnati?
Yep, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to the WKRP.
Yeah, well, that was a good show. Leave that alone.
The turkeys. Yeah.
You know, I just say, you know, stuff happens. You know, you get hit by a car, taken out by a group of angry whoever's. Oh, you eaten by a tiger. I mean, stuff happens. I don't see any reason why this needs to be the news. How it needs to be sensationalized because punishing these individuals, it's not going to make a difference to society at all whatsoever. It's not going to change society. To show that you're going to make an example of these people, yada yada yada, that just it doesn't work because people are going to do what people are going to do. So it's like one of those things. If you're going to try to attack a culture or try to wrangle a culture into compliance, well, good luck with that, because it's not going to happen. You just guaranteed to stack up more bodies in jail and in prison. So that's just the status quo, and that's just how it's gonna be. To sensationalize this, I think you're gonna have these politicians, especially these Democrats, I'm sure, who's going to make issue here. I know this lady who said whatever she said out of context, and people just get so angry too. Again, stuck in the hospital watching Fox News. Yeah, these people are just so angry. Every day that she sits in city council collecting a paycheck is a failure of the system. She needs to resign and resign with shame. Blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, it's first off, this is America. Yeah, guess what? This is America. She has the right to say what she wants to say. If she has a political leaning in any direction and she wants to say somebody got their just due, well, that's her right. Now, does that support or fit the characteristics of the kind of person she should project herself as because she's in a position of authority? Well, some people are hard cases, and some people like hard cases in office. So, I mean, she knows what she's doing. She's going to work a jelly, all right? This lady, if she really feels the way she feels, then world be damned. If not, I'm pretty sure she'll apologize. Again, it's just I've been watching just non-news all week in the hospital. That's like the Sweeney thing. Yeah, not important. Okay, a couple got beat up. All right, yeah. Not. I mean, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for this couple. I really don't want anybody to be beaten up, especially for things they are not responsible for, or just being in the wrong place, wrong time, or whatever the situation may be. We live in a society. Okay, you can't just attack someone because they've made you angry. I mean, if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, if you got to do it, case the person. Watch from distance. Do it intelligently. Just do it out of view of the rest of society. Do what you're gonna do. If the law catches up with you, then it catches up with you, or not. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But my point being, you can't just act on impulse. And I know a lot of people in our society have impulse problems when it comes to being in public. I'm quite ashamed, but it's kind of one of those things. It's just put into those living conditions. I'm sure these individuals are from the hood, right? And just one of those languages. Fist, they talk. It just hands. I'm just telling you. Some people are well versed, and that's just how they communicate. But again, we live in a society. You can kind of keep that stuff in the hood, or don't. But I think it's a non-issue for this to be slathered all over media. I think it's just another reason just to put a group of black individuals on the naughty list here, and on the shame board, post, whatever, to see these mugshots up. Yeah, the dregs are of our society. Yeah, okay. Well, everybody's got them, and so we shouldn't be trying to, I don't know, demonize people. Yeah, I don't know. They're a-holes. They should be punished. Let's not make this a political tool for these people in the establishment to manipulate us. That's what I'm sick of. So, anyways, I'm ranting, but you get my point, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, Rearson, take this topic out.
Well, I fully agree with V on this one. I mean, it's from what I've understood, being an outsider, looking up, down, whatever from north of the 49th parallel, America seemed to be actually doing fairly well in terms of, I can't even call it, again, I cannot call it interracial relations, because if that was the case, V wouldn't be around, Naroki wouldn't be around. I mean, shit, I wouldn't even be able to have my son because of race. I mean, again, you want to go back to race? Go back to first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. You had humans, dwarves, elves, halflings, gnomes, and you had half-orcs and half-elves. So there was an interbreeding of sorts under whatever circumstances they may have been. Doesn't matter. All depends on the character development of the PC or NPC for whatever the scenario is. But things seem to have really been ramped up under Obama. So I'm not harping on him for being whatever genetic mix he is, or whatever his racial, sexual orientation may be. I have my suspicions. Naroki and I will never agree, and that's perfectly fine. But regardless of that, one way or the other, the degeneracy of how things are in the US of A have really taken a downturn. Now, compound that with the atypical, as Via said, it is the sensationalization of, no one talks about the, shall we say, black on black violence. No one talks about the white on white violence. But when it's white on black violence and that, in those, well, potentially questionable circumstances, oh shit. Well, now we got to talk about it because. And if it's outside of the parameters, it does not get media attention because it is, my opinion being, is that it's done purposely to drive that wedge even deeper into making it even worse than it is before. I came across Doc Rich, I think his name is, on YouTube. And this is the opinion of someone who happens to be more melanin rich, shall we say, in terms of their skin tone, is calling out the differences between white liberals and white conservatives. And I'm much more in the camp of the white conservative. Like, I don't really care what your skin tone is. If you're going to play yourself as a victim, I don't have time for you. And I don't. And I don't care where you are in that whole fucking spectrum. I don't care what your skin tone is. If you're going to be playing the victim, I don't care. I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to deal with you. And I'm not going to deal with you. So, that being said, there are 3 sides to every story. Yours, mine, and right in the middle, and that fine balance is the truth. Are we going to know what the truth is? Probably not. Would I like to know? Absolutely. Is it going to happen? I'm not going to bet my life on it. So if you are going to choose to be triggered by the mainstream media, well, you get what you deserve. I'm not here to be society's Captain Savo because, as I learned from COVID-19, no one's going to listen to me because I'm cutting through the bullshit and calling for what it is. And I have a feeling in this instance, it's really no different. So, whatever will happen is going to happen. Will this older white couple get prosecuted and persecuted and crucified? I wouldn't be surprised. Do I think it should happen? No, because, well, even if there is video footage of the whole situation, that stuff can be doctored now with AI. So, my expectations and my wishes are not going to be, it's not very high. I'll just say it as that. So, I am genuinely hoping that there is a better future for humanity, but at this point in time right now, are we there? No. Do I want it to be there? Absolutely. And we go from there. So I got nothing more to say.
And if I could add on to that, just very quickly, and I wish women.
Oh God.
Women need to stop. I understand, you have your man and you don't want him harmed and all that. But when your man gets into a situation where he has to fight for either his very own safety or his life, let him do that. He's a man.
Oh shit! Okay, I see.
Women. Yeah. No. Well, because my roommate was all like, "Oh, that poor lady. Oh, look how swollen and bruised her face is." I'm like, well, she chose to try to rescue her man. Okay, I understand. Yes, once again, civilized society. I mean, we shouldn't be just throwing haymakers at random women, but just as a woman, have some common sense. Just let your man be a man, because you will get some of what he's getting. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't just a can of whoop ass. I'm pretty sure that seemed like there was a whole 6-pack, and I think she got some. I think she got a taste. So these women, just back up. Quit. Don't jump into a riot or fight thinking that you're gonna split it up because no one can touch you. You're the referee. No one can touch you. You're the society's darling, a special whatever. No, when hands go flying, a lot of times, yeah. I'm just saying. Oh God, these women need to stop. That's all I'm saying. All right.
So yeah, let me just move on to topic number 3 here. Okay, so topic number 3. Right. So yeah, in the midst of everybody being on summer vacation, um, a certain group of individuals in Congress, in both the U.S. and Australia and a few other places, are bringing in versions of the Online Safety Act, which is very, very similar to the ones that that it currently exists in Britain. In except for some reason in Canada they haven't done it, and I suspect that it's probably because Mark Carney damn well knows that if he gets too authoritarian in Canada right now, that Alberta is just a hair's breadth away from leaving anyway. So we can't they cannot afford to lose. They can't afford to be losing our oil money. But in the U.S., at the end of summer, they brought in this thing called KOSA, the Kids Online Safety Act. And it's called the Kids Online Safety Act because if they called it the Online Safety Act like they've got in Britain, it would be shot down immediately. This particular bill, if it got passed, and they tried to pass something like this about a year and a half, at the last session of Congress before Trump got elected, and it got shut down in Congress again. This time they reworded it and they put the words kids in front of it to make it sound a little less offensive and to make it sound like, oh, we're just out to protect the kids. But in fact, it's more or less the same type of bill that they've got in Britain. And the timing of this, the way it's being done, which is where a lot of people with political influence and know-how want to go on vacation this time of year, is clearly an indication that, at least to me anyway, that that they're trying to get this passed while as few people as possible are looking. The closest thing that I can remember this going to, and I can't remember what it was called, but at the end of I think it was the end of 2013, there was a bill that Barack Obama said very vehemently that he was not going to pass and he was going to veto the bill. And what ended up happening is at about 6 o'clock in the evening on December 31st, he signed the bill when, of course, nobody was looking. This is the same sort of thing. They're trying to get this stuff through while everybody is off having vacations and doing some other stuff. So they're not able to give this thing as full attention, which really strongly suggests, and the fact that it's being tried not just in the United States, but it's also being tried in Australia and New Zealand, and its slant is extremely similar to the one that Great Britain passed a year or so ago, suggests to me that there's a very high level of coordination. Canada hasn't actually Trudeau was going to try to bring a bill in like this. Unfortunately, he got booted out of office, and they managed to lie their way into getting Carney elected. And Carney, though, unlike Trudeau, Carney is looking at a couple of provinces separating if he gets too heavy-handed. So Carney is not able to pass a bill like this because, especially since Alberta is literally the economic engine of the country at this point, But again, right, what they did in the U.S., though, was really fucking underhanded. They basically made it the same thing as the Online Safety Act in Britain. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. And then they put the name kids in front of it to make it sound harmless and to give them some publicity, because if you oppose it now, so what's the matter? You're not in favor of protecting kids? That's basically what it's all about. And you need to keep an eye on this, because even if KOSA doesn't pass, it does have bipartisan support, which shouldn't come as any surprise. And they are going to try and come back and do it again in another year or so. And also, Mark Carney is going to attempt to bring a bill like that up at some point. He just simply can't do it. He can't afford to get heavy-handed and authoritarian like Justin Trudeau has, because it's like he can't risk alienating Alberta any more than he already has. And we need to be keeping a close eye on this, because the way the bill is specifically worded, to my understanding, is that it's open and subject to interpretation. And in Britain, it has been used specifically on individuals who were critical of the almost out of control immigration problem they've got there. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Roger.
Okay, so that's that. See, the thing about that is it's like I find it odd. And Mark Edworthy, Mark Edworthy, and Mr. Robot Friday had a show where we brought up the whole thing concerning England. The thing that I find odd about this, and nobody else catches on to, is, and you got to listen to how I'm saying this, okay? Now, before you start jumping to conclusions, but it's like this. Here in the United States, and even in England and everything, most of the people who are calling themselves conservatives, which I'm kind of debatable on if they're actually conservative or not, or but most of the people these days who claim to be conservative are the same ones who have a problem with pedophilia, talking about, Epstein and all the stuff going on now. Now they are against this, and the people who really don't give a shit about kids are the ones who are pushing it. Now that's kind of screwed up, you know what I'm saying? And for me, here in the United States, I don't know where this is going to go, because the people who are claiming that they stand for something are freaking against what they freaking say they're standing for. And then the people who freaking don't give a shit freaking are the ones who are pushing it. So you got kind of this kind of crazy thing going on there. You know what I mean? Whenever it comes to this right here, it's really messed up that the people who freaking everybody says freaking care about kids and they're sick of pedophiles running around molesting children are the ones who are saying that they don't want this bill. You know what I mean? That tells you something about that bill that you really don't want to freaking have a part of, you know what I mean? Because it goes into a lot of deeper things. I've mentioned it with you before, Naroki, about how the juvenile courts are done here in the United States and what they do behind closed doors, and they hide behind freaking the privacy laws for juveniles. Oh, we can't let you know what's going on in here because that'll involve these children's privacy, and we can't have that. So they hide behind that so that they can freaking do things that are just completely outlandish, unconstitutional, and illegal, constitutionally illegal. And they do it under the guise of child privacy. You know what I mean? They also do the same thing with HEPA laws here in the United States. They hide behind HEPA laws so that they can go and do things that they know that they can't get away with, because they want to hide behind, these privacy laws. And they've learned how to use it as a loophole. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that really is bad about it, you know what I mean? And I've mentioned this before with what's going on over in England and Europe with Mark, and for some reason he doesn't understand it, but it makes perfectly good sense to me. But like with games, whenever Activision did their negotiations with the EU, for some reason the EU thinks that it's so important that this huge gaming company puts their games on the cloud. Well, why would that be? Well, first of all, once they get all these games on the cloud, then these governments can regulate what's allowed on that cloud service. If they don't approve of that video game, then bam, that game's gone, that game's gone, that game's gone. So now all of a sudden they have control. You know what I mean? They can tell these big money-making corporations that are making video games what video games they can put up and what video games they can't put up, you know. That's kind of what's going on here, you know. These acts that they're trying to put out that are supposed to be protecting kids, in reality, is actually ways for them to get more control and be able to censor what can and can't be done and what, on certain platforms. I don't know that they claim that it's supposed to be for kids, but I also know, like, once a law goes into effect, then that becomes a chance for them to pass another law because this one has been passed. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that really sticks out to me. Like, it sets a precedence to where later on other laws can be formed because of it. So a lot of people need to take time to actually pay attention and see what's really going on here. Like this net neutrality that you're trying to come out with. I almost fell for that a long time ago until somebody explained it to me that what they were wanting to do was turning the internet into a utility. And if they did that, that means that the FCC, Federal Communications, would be able to regulate it and tell everybody who's allowed on the internet and who's not on the internet. And that never even crossed my mind, you know, because at the time I was thinking, man, that would be kind of cool. You could have freaking the internet being treated like a utility. If something goes wrong, then it'd be taken care of and things of that nature. But finally somebody explained that to me, you know, and that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to regulate the internet. They're wanting to censor and stifle people from being able to put what they want on the internet and be done with it, you know. So that's all I got. You guys did hear me.
Yeah, I heard you. V, you're up.
Yeah, I agree with Roger there. I'm not too sure about what's all involved with these bills. I know when they're passing these laws and these bills, you know, everything was good until Senator J.O. wants to add on something federal funding, and Senator Happy Cat has to add on some sort of weirdness that only happens to pertain to his or her state. And then you got someone like Sleepy Joe, who's just gonna sign whatever's put in front of him. So you get these poison bills, and it's terrible. That's why our country's screwed up today. Nobody's reading fine print anymore until it's too late. Yeah, hiding behind this, hiding behind that. Just you can't get anything at face value, especially dealing with the government. You cannot take anything at face value. You've got to do a double look, double think. Got to research and see what's really going on. Because there's always special interests, because you know those lobbyists, right? You got these congressmen who are trying to line their pockets as usual. Yeah, we need to make stock market trading, illegal for these guys to have this advanced information. I mean, they're no better than Martha Stewart, right? So it's just, when you look at it, the game's rigged, and you gotta know what's being put in front of you. So yeah, I mean, just basically reiterating what Roger said. But yeah, I totally agree.
Rearson.
When it comes to politics, people have been really good to trust in government, and, well, look where we're at right now, folks. You're up shit creek, and both your paddles, well, they may not have broken, but who's to say that those paddles haven't been sawed at, and you don't really have much to work with. I commented on a post of some of you and I both know gentleman from Lake Louise with the last name of Taylor. I won't say his first name, but first name of Taylor. And it was the critique of Alberta wanting to separate and this, that, the other thing. And it came down to a lot of analysis of the last Conservative PM, which was Stephen Harper, and he cut this, and he did this, and Alberta hasn't done this, and blah, 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 blah. And I just cut to the chase, and it basically said, well, I put it into words, that, we have basically this illusion that we have any say as to what's going on, and that politics is actually going to be not fair, but it really comes down to you get what you pay for, and if you believe that the system works, and the atypical definition of insanity. Now, I haven't jumped back onto Facebook because I haven't been on Crackbook, and prior to that, probably about a week, maybe a week and a half. And I'm happy as a pig in shit because I don't care anymore about what other people's opinions are, because none of us have any clue as to what the fuck's going on. So basically the Affordability Care Act or whatever it was of Obama's tenure. I mean, when the hell did Nancy Pelosi say it? Well, we have to pass the bill and to see what's in it. The old fucking leathery cunt knew what was in it. She was going to fucking profit from it, but she's not going to say that to incriminate herself. So this whole notion of trusting and believing politicians, well, folks, guess what? You get what you deserve. You're going to trust in politicians? Great. This is what you have. I mean, again, I go back to my experience with voting in the last Canadian federal election. I walked out just kind of going, there's no one to vote for. They're all in on it. This, that, and the other thing. And it's like, I walked out and it's like, I feel like I'm fucking Bonnie Blue or whatever the hell that other fucking dumb British cunt's name is on OnlyFans. And I'm walking around just like, I've been used. I feel dirty. I am not the same person that I was before. Why? Just why? Why should I believe this? Why should I get involved with this anymore? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, politicians are great at saying one thing, they talk out of one side of their mouth, and they're going to talk out right outside of the other at the same fucking time. So, whatever. Anyway, I got nothing more. Let's move on.
Okay, yeah, let's move on here. The next topic is... Oh, yes, this one. All right, this one's going to be interesting. Because, again, right, not so much because of what happened, because there were two incidents and they happened basically within about a day of each other. And one of them had a real Manosphere kind of take to it when you found out the details, and the other one didn't. Well, what ended up happening is that, first of all, there was a guy who drove all the way from Las Vegas to New York, took out a gun, and basically walked into this one building, killed this one NYPD cop, shot him in the back, shot a security guard in the back, and then tried to get up to the NFL headquarters, and he took the wrong elevator. He went into this one other building, and turned out it wasn't the NFL headquarters, but he shot it up anyway, came back down, and then killed himself. His note that he left behind didn't really enlighten everybody, because he didn't play football long enough for there to be any serious brain damage. But wait, upon further investigation,
there's more.
It turns out that this guy had two mental health related incidents back in the city of Las Vegas. And he was on medication. Of course, undoubtedly, just like that incident down in Texas, undoubtedly. And I'm actually beginning to think that there's probably been some cooperation with the FDA on this. Big Pharma actually has a strike team that I suspect just sits by and waits for events like this and goes out of their way to make sure that what this guy was taking medically never gets released. But that is not really all that happened with this. CNN, and I'm going to actually just post it. I've had the photo up just a second ago. CNN really tried desperately to say that this guy was white, and of course he does. He's half black, half Japanese, or something like that. And when they couldn't actually show that he was white, and this is no word of a lie, CNN said that he had white mentality. And what? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. What the fuck is white? Sorry, Rusin and Roger, since you're the two white guys on this show, you can explain to me what the fuck white mentality is, because I have no goddamn fucking clue.
That means you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
I guess for myself, trying to treat people as they actually are rather than a collective.
No.
Which hold on. Can I speak?
Okay, go ahead.
By the way, I still got one more event to cover here, so to make it brief, and then I got to get on to the next one, and you guys can have your say.
Yeah. I mean, for me, at the end of the day, if you're going to act like an ass, I'm going to treat you like an ass. But, fuck. Yeah. I need another beer. I wish I had one, but I don't have one. So, I got nothing more.
Okay, so, yeah. The guy's suicide note said, please allow science to study my brain.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just dive in there and just start cutting it up. Maybe after they're done with it, they can turn it into like Jell-O, and everybody can sit around the table and just eat it and have fun and say, that is so cool. We get to... Now, is this dude really black or white? Or because
he's half black, half Asian.
That funny looking picture of that dude that you just showed with the mustache and everything.
Yep. He's half black, half Asian.
I thought he might have been like Mongoloid or some shit.
Yeah, well, he's half black, half Asian. That's how they look.
See, that's not cool. Like you don't let something like that live in the first place. Like if you had a baby that looked like that, you should have put it to sleep. That was one ugly
Wow.
dude. No, I mean
Good.
seriously, like that's the way we white people roll, dude. We believe in eugenics and shit.
Oh, okay. Now you want to talk about sounding white?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I said it. I said
Yeah,
it.
You
I
did.
I
You
said
did.
it.
You did, and I'm calling you out on that one.
Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna let V take.
Well, no,
that.
actually, guys, I'm not actually done yet.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But first of all, but before we go, here's another picture of Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right. So that'll keep you distracted. Boobs. Anyway, so the other.
Don't change the picture. Leave it on there.
The other guy is a fuck you.
That's hot.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rearson. Thank you. So there was a the GOP city councilman. That's a person that he was associated with. Basically went into his office with a gas can, doused him with the gas can, pulled out the lighter, and literally chased him into the hallway in an attempt to set him on fire. Now, when these two events kind of came out so close together, they initially thought that they might be related. As it turns out, person number one was just an insane nutcase. But person number two, it turns out that this was a personal issue because this guy who tried to set this, and he did ignite his clothes, and he is in the current this current member of city council is is in the hospital right now nursing burn wounds. This guy had recently divorced his wife. And it turns out, and I'm going to put this photo up just briefly, so yeah, no more Sydney Sweeney boobs for about 10 seconds. This guy's wife is the one circled here in the red. The guy who set not the city councilman who's up front, but the guy who set the city councilman on fire is off back to the left, and the guy's wife is the redhead off to the right. Now, apparently this was personal, so speculation, and this is what it is speculation, is that either this guy blames the city councilman for their divorce, or his wife, his now ex-wife, was seeing the city councilman on the side. Now, guys, I'm going to keep saying this because, I mean, it's not so much emphasis. Like, first of all, MGTOWs don't give a shit. Like, they generally don't try to get involved with them. And PUAs, though, right? Like, there is a fucking reason why they tell you to stay the fuck away from married women, because you have no fucking idea how the husband is going to react. Right? Like, that's the reason why you don't get involved with married fucking women or women that are in long-term relationships living with their significant other, even if they're not married. Because you have zero clue how the guy's going to react. Standing here from several thousand miles away looking at that event in Nashville, it looks like this guy was sleeping with this guy's wife, and that the wife chose to divorce him and potentially go move in with the city councilman. Again, you have no idea how this guy's going to react. Now, as far as the other guy is concerned, let's talk about SSRIs, right? I am going to go back to that incident. I can't remember what the name of that Texas town where that guy shot up that elementary school, and how there was a group of investigative reporters that was fairly close by that school, and they knew what was going on, and they immediately drove up because apparently it wasn't far from the Mexican border. And they get there, and somehow the FDA is there before the FBI. And this has been a very curious situation. I'm actually going to have to start looking. I might even have, if I had the money, I would actually start investigating this, right? Like, it's starting to look very, very much like the FDA in conjunction with Big Pharma. What they might be doing is they basically send out these strike teams to prevent people from finding out what type of medication this person was on in order to protect their brand, in order to protect their market. Because the SSRI thing just keeps coming up over a potential coming. I think the individuals with a history of mental illness and them taking medication is something that has gone back since even before the Columbine thing is where it first really came out, right? And, you know, again, the incident with this guy who tried to shoot up the NFL headquarters, is very, very clear that this person had mental issues. The second one, the guy who set the councilman on fire, that's just a case of, and guys, I gotta keep emphasizing this, right? Do not fucking sleep with married women, right? Like, in fact, in my hierarchy, like, I will, if I have to pick between a married woman and a single mom, I take a single mom, even though single moms are not exactly fucking prizes either.
Jesus.
Right?
Wow. Okay. All right.
No, I'm serious, because it's like you just don't, like, I mean, I've made this video about women with high fucking body counts. It's like, I mean, you know, a lot of the reasons why women with high body counts are dangerous to be around, it's not because the woman itself is dangerous. It's because the number of guys they slept with. The more guys they slept with, the higher the statistical probability that she has slept with a guy who is not mentally all there, is an asshole, or is fucking violent and possessive and territorial. Now, I had one in Banff that was like that. The guy actually fucking threatened me, right? It happened just before I left, right? Like, it's not something that you trifle with. And that's just with single women. And what happens with you have no idea how the husband is going to react, right? You're almost, like, you are literally almost better off with the single mom. Although single moms are not exactly a fucking prize either. You need to be careful, dude. Like, you need to be careful, right? They initially thought that this was something that was maybe politically motivated. It's looking now like it wasn't. But, in both cases, we're talking about one dude who had a history of mental health issues, who was on medication. And again, you have groups of people in the background trying really hard to make sure you don't find out what he was on. And that's a pattern that has been repeating itself now for almost 3 decades. And you also have an individual who his wife is divorcing him, and is probably divorcing him to be with this councilman, and the guy just fucking snapped. And that's what happens when you sleep with married women. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Roger.
Well, I mean, I don't really know if I want you to turn it over to me, man. Like, well, married women, no, don't sleep with married women. But I do have to say Sydney Sweeney is probably a Canadian chick.
Boobs.
Just putting it out there so that everybody knows. Those Canadian tramp, dirty girl whores. You know what I'm talking about, V. You know. Yeah. Like, I just got curious and decided, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna freaking. I'm not gonna say Google because I go to Bing to do my searches.
Sweeney's from Spokane, man. So she's Washington.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Like this girl is a slut, dude. I see more videos of her freaking boobs than I do of her in clothes, dude. Like she is a straight up slut. Why is people making such a big deal about this stuff, man? And yeah, she does have bigger boobs than what I thought. So I'm gonna have to retract my earlier comment.
Okay, again, the women that are kicking up a fucking shitstorm over this are the ones that are not getting the attention from the 8, 9s, and 10s that they think that they deserve because they ain't worth the fucking trouble for them. All they were is just a notch on the belt, a hole to blow their load, and that was it. And now there's someone who's more attractive, someone they know they cannot compete against. And again, we talked about this with Riley Gaines 2 episodes ago, I think it was, maybe 3, 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, women are screaming and bitching about the patriarchy, and here they are in their natural element, backstabbing each other because someone looks better, can do better, and they are more attractive than they will ever be. They will lose their fucking shit on them, hand over fist, 99 times out of 100. Just saying.
No, I mean I've said that a couple of times, and I've also mentioned the fact that's one reason why women are never going to really ever be able to compete with men, because freaking, like, you'll hear a lot of these liberals women talking about men hold them down and stuff, but it's not that. It's they hold each other down. Like, they're too busy competing with one another. Like, oh, I've got to be better than this woman or that woman,
Again, I'll go back to the Survivor episode or episodes, whatever, where it was the men versus the women, and the women destroyed each other because they can't fucking agree on anything. Whereas with guys, okay, who's the most competent, who can delegate, and who makes the most sense? Okay, we'll go into that. I mean, what the hell was it? Women might be individually more intelligent, but collectively, they don't work well. They never will, and they can't. And
not with the guy.
And I'm going to say this. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. With what's happening with Sweeney and Riley Gaines and any other woman that actually stands above the crowd, I don't want women to be able to vote because of shit like this. There. I said it. I fucking said it. Women should not be able to...
Whoa.
No. Oh, no. Well, okay, fucking prove me wrong. Do you want women to be able to vote when shit like this happening because their emotions are clouding their judgment?
There's men I don't want to freaking vote, dude.
Okay, we can deal with the guys. No. But the fucking women that are voting because they're fucking menopausal and they haven't hit menopause yet?
Oh, no, he didn't go there.
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, damn right, I did. And I don't care anymore because too many people are dancing around these fucking issues because they know what's wrong, they know what the problem is, but no one's got the fucking balls or the fucking testicular fortitude to actually say it. So, anyway, that's that. Rogan, my apologies. I wanted to say this on topic one a while ago, but bitches should just not vote.
Bitches should recognize and shut the fuck up. Don't put.
Okay, the only way you're going to shut women the only way you're going to shut those fucking mids and feminists, whatever else, is to have a dick in their mouth and hopefully they don't bite. Just saying. And on that note, I'm done.
So
yes, I went there.
the thing about it is Lunatic's attempt to shoot up NFL headquarters while another one tries to set fire to an official in Nashville is what I seen.
That was the topic. I forgot about this one. Okay.
Yeah, no, we started talking about Sydney Sweeney's goddamn boobs again.
Yeah, I know. Now, you know what every time I hear about somebody trying to set somebody on fire, it reminds me of that freaking Buddhist monk back in the 70s that put gasoline on himself and set himself on fire. And I think that's kind of what happened. It started out there, and everybody started getting carried away with it. It's not even really worth talking about if somebody doesn't try to set somebody on fire at least once every 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Only once every 5 years for immolation? Okay, sure.
No, you hear that shit all the time. And I think the craziest thing I've ever heard was with that one guy. It was a while back, but it was going through custody court, and he actually went out in front of the courthouse and set himself on fire because of the court system and stuff, man. I thought that was pretty freaking intense, you know what I'm saying? But every time I hear about that, man, that's what it reminds me of, is that Buddhist that did that stuff. He was protesting because the United States didn't want to support the Buddhists after Tibet was overran by China. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, fair enough. V?
Gentlemen, I find your statements to be entirely, extremely
Illogical?
inflammatory.
Oh, really?
I didn't say the stuff about chicks. No, I mean, I love women. I just don't have sex with them anymore.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate a feminine woman. I really do. But anyway, V, please continue before we hopefully don't interrupt you again.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, didn't we cover a story about some chick setting some guy on fire because he was drunk at a party?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a few months ago.
Aussie,
Yeah,
that Aussie chick. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Yeah. Oh man. ICU burn victims. You know, and I don't know what the intent was to just scar someone for life or possibly kill them, but to kill someone, to set them on fire, that's pretty interesting.
They want you dead, dude. That's the whole thing. That's it.
Yeah. They don't want you to even have an open casket funeral. Gee, what the? Wow, I mean, it's like, wow, who screwed whose wife? Oh.
That would be Naroki.
That guy screwed the other guy's wife. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've been with the wives before. Mostly because, friends have asked me to in the past. Try to get their relationship, their sex life sparked up, and apparently I'm the guy to do that for some reason. I can't articulate. People have asked me over the years many times, "Hey, yeah, jump in bed with my wife." Majority of the time I turn it down, but yeah. And then there's the guys that just like to swing, of course. And then I've been with the wives, with the husbands that are in prison. Now I didn't do those knowingly. You know, like 3-4 months in, I'm laying it to this chick and chicks, and I had a question. Where's this kid's dad? I assume there's a divorce or somebody's dead. Oh no, he's in prison. He's doing some hard time right now. Oh really? So this ragamuffin running around. Oh okay. How long is he gonna be in? Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Getting out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and these women, they want it. I don't know what it is about a married woman, but
the bitch is bored.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, more than likely. So I wouldn't say it's off limits. You obviously have to pick your situations. But
do you see how morbid and crazy freaking Naroki is? Like, we're having this conversation and he puts a woman with big old black eye up and busted lip and everything. Like, that's morbid.
Oh, it looks like she got told twice.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the woman that got assaulted by those people in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. I thought it was your S&M stuff coming out there.
That's kind of horrible there.
Yeah. Anyway, you got anything else to add, B, or can we move on to the next topic?
But
yeah,
I was gonna
say, I have been. Okay, I should stop saying I statements, but there are people who have been with some chicks, just boyfriend comes along, just like, what you gonna do? Hey, get totally punked, right? So it's like just borrowing her for the weekend. You can have it back later, bro. Anyways, yeah, no, I've got nothing else to say.
All right. I brought this up on Crackbook. Oh God, I don't remember what the incident was, but it came down to some mass shooter, and I had asked this to a former coworker from fucking 30 years ago. Yeah, I'll say 30 years ago. It's probably closer to about 32, 33, whatever the case may be. And the fucker never replied back. But it was a question of, what medications are these people on? Who is the person that's involved with... Fuck, we actually do have something to relate to with all of this. But I'll get to that here in just a moment. My apologies. But, I was asking the genuine question of, what head meds are these people on? Who are the doctors or the psychiatrists that are assigning these... is there some sort of a connection with all of these, mass shooters going on? No one seemed to fucking acknowledge my question. And I can't say that I'm feeling a sense of vindication. But if people start asking these kinds of questions, I am going to feel vindicated. It's like, yeah, I was saying this fucking 10 years ago. Easily 10 years ago. And I don't remember the guy's name, but when Kanye or Ye or Yee or whatever the fuck his name is anymore, I don't know.
Kanye.
Yeah, but he had a trainer or some sort of a contact that had threatened him with whatever. That guy seemed to be involved with enough problems with other mass shooters or mass murderers or whatever that got national attention, and then all of a sudden his profile disappeared. Don't remember the fucker's name. I remember he was Canadian. I think he was from Montreal. And if he was from Montreal, and I think he was, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he was somehow involved in, shall we say, like the MK Ultra shit. So Is that the same thing that's happened with these two instances? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not professing to know them. But I'm going to ask a difficult question that I don't think anybody is going to want to actually answer. And anyone from the mainstream media, or that's going to be a paid talking head of whoever on fucking Fox or CNN or CBC or the BBC, I don't fucking know even. Maybe even NHK, which is the Japanese equivalent, I believe, of the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Any person that will go on national or international television to say, no, there's no problem like this. Fuck off. Just fuck off. You pay someone enough, they'll lie for you. Statistics and people are no different. You torture them long enough, you'll get the answers you're looking for. So that's all I'm going to say on this one. So I'm done.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic here. This next one's kind of interesting. Hold on, come on, teams. Come on up. Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go. Okay, this one we can finally have a little bit of fun with. The U.S. Olympic Committee and the IOC have decided to, and I think that was probably because it was like ultimately what it was going to go down to was the third world majority was just simply not going to allow transgenders to compete. And they were probably behind the scenes potentially. And I mean, if they had allowed transgenders to compete at the International Olympic by the way, that Algerian boxer, he lost his fucking gold medal. By the way, he had to send it back. And he's also been banned from female boxing, at least with the major boxing federations. So yeah. The IOC has openly said that they are not going to be allowing trans to compete at the Olympics anymore. The U.S. Olympic Committee has fallen in line with that. Really, really weird, though, how it is that, none of the major networks chose to run this particular piece. Here's the issue, and this is, I think, something that a lot of people don't really remember, but we did cover it on this show. Leah Thomas actually launched a legal challenge, first in the U.S. and then an international court, against the IOC to try and get into the Olympics. Like, he legitimately tried to get in a women's event under the Olympics. Now, fortunately, it didn't go anywhere. And if he had gotten in, given the history of what was going on, it probably, again, same thing with Imad Khalif or whatever the hell his name was. There was probably enough outrage that got brought up around that. Again, probably done by the third world majority, that the IOC had to, even with most of the Western countries being on board with this, they had to do it, because if they had continued to push transgenders in sports, I could think of probably at least a third of the countries in the world right now that would have pulled their teams from the Olympics. Probably more. Anywhere from about a third to a half of countries on the planet would have immediately pulled their teams out of the Olympic Games. And that would have spelled the end of the Olympic Games. The IOC and the USOC probably figured, and I want to start with the IOC here. Probably the reason why the IOC knew where their bread was buttered, right? So they knew that they had to keep the quote unquote third world majority, which is the majority of their voting bloc, happy to stay viable, especially since you consider the fact that most Olympic Games have turned out to be financial sinkholes. I have a little odd viewing habit that I will look at, that I will go and entertain every once in a while. And it involves like ghost buildings that were used once and then were never used for anything else again. A surprisingly large number of those buildings are former Olympic venues. China has got 2 stadiums that it hardly ever uses anymore. There's 2 stadiums down in Brazil that hardly ever get used anymore. There's a couple of, like, for instance, the baseball and softball venues in Greece hardly ever, like, they literally, there's a tree growing in the bleachers of the softball arena in Greece, because there's just not that many softball, baseball players in Greece to make that stadium to justify keeping that stadium running. There's a huge and there's a lot of these so-called abandoned buildings that fall into that category. So they're losing money hand over fist. Every country that hosts the Olympics ends up losing money. I think Vancouver actually kind of broke even. The Summer Games, though, there hasn't been a Summer Olympics that has turned a profit since Los Angeles in 1984. Stop and think about that. And ultimately, what it had to boil down to with the IOC is that the IOC cannot afford to have its members continuously throwing money down a financial sinkhole, right? And they absolutely would have lost revenue if they had continued to allow transgender athletes to compete at the Olympics. Because as we all know, Paris was an absolute debacle. It was such a, like, the opening ceremonies was such a debacle that they literally had to have Google and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook run block on their social media to block some of the depravity that happened at the opening ceremonies, right? Like, that guy's dong was fucking hanging out at the Olympic Games. It was like it was left hanging out, and I know because I've worked in the film industry. Like, that shot at the Olympic Games, that camera was like, every shot is planned, and that tree and that guy were put in a position, and the camera was told to move in a certain way to keep that guy's junk from being publicly exposed for too long. Just a little brief hint of it. That was not an accident. So the IOC's got some serious explaining, is already in some serious trouble. So and also there is a very, very real possibility, especially from Western nations, that a trans might launch a legal challenge that's got some legs behind it. Fortunately, Leah Thomas's legal challenge didn't hold up. But, there's no saying if they had allowed this to continue that some trans athlete down the line might have actually gotten the right and you can actually see it happening too, right? Certain organizations in some Western countries try to stack the deck in the courts so that a legal challenge to the IOC would actually have legs. And the IOC needed to cut that off at the pass. Now, when it comes to the USOC, well, I think it really started to go bad for them when I think it started really going bad for LGBTQIA when they started publicly going after other people's kids, and when they tried to start sneaking this stuff into the schools. and tried to not have the parents find out. And it got worse and worse. And of course, like the University of Pennsylvania is now on the record saying that they're going to be scrubbed. They scrubbed Leah Thomas's swimming records off their rolls, and they've apologized for what they did. But the only reason that the NCAA decided had to finally take action on that was because there was so, like, the mainstream media, and this is definitely gone. I'm going to go on the record and say this, like, next year, web-based media advertising is going to be worth more than television advertising. And the nature of web-based advertising is different than television and old-styled media advertising. And it's not as dependent. It's not nearly as vulnerable to organized moral policing like the old advertising system was. But what's ultimately going on here is that even though the LGBTQIA community has a hold of the soft power, because a lot of the advertising, a lot of the media-based structures are out of New York and out of California, which are solidly blue states. And that particular segment of the population tends to lead very strongly to the left. And by the way, specifically the Hollywood group, there's a lot of fucking degenerates there. I mean, look how long it took Harvey Weinstein before he finally got caught. And oh, by the way, Harvey Weinstein might still get away with it. But I'm not going to get into the details as to why. But the mood in the country, and Donald Trump, the election of Donald Trump was part of it, but it's not the whole thing. But the mood in the country. Oh, I also won't get into the work that Robbie Starbuck did, and also, this year at all the Pride events in all the major cities, like they've got people out there with cell phone cameras monitoring the events to make sure that there aren't fucking pedos. And this is something that happened last year. There was a guy I don't know what city it was in, but he was basically parading around nude. And they followed this guy carefully, and he kept going out of his way to get kids' attention. Buck naked. He got caught 3 or 4 times. They also caught guys in literally a pissing pool on the fucking sidewalk. Where these guys would just like stand there and take a piss right in fucking front of everybody on the street with their dicks hanging out. And the police couldn't do anything about it. And what's going on now is that there's now an organized group of individuals that are at all of these Pride events monitoring this stuff. So the mood there's no way that you're going to not convince me that there aren't some pedophiles that will, for instance, I'll go with there's that one situation where they kept finding in this one school district in Colorado, for instance, they kept finding like these organized attempts to try to sneak this stuff past the parents. This one school district in Colorado, and then they caught this one school administrator who turned out to be a pedophile, and they arrested him. And of course, the moment they arrested him, lo and behold, all of the problems that one school district in Colorado had, they were all gone. That stopped. It started to turn on the trans community when they started going after other people's kids, when they started getting really seriously degenerate, and they started to scream and yell at anybody who even had the mildest criticism. And it probably would have worked had there not been alt media. And the U.S. Olympic Committee put their finger up in the air and they saw which way the wind was blowing, and they knew that if they had done that not only would they be damaging their brand potentially, but what could have also happened is that the third world majority at the IOC might have gotten together and said, well, no. If you bring a trans athlete on your team to the Olympics, it's going to be one of two things. Either your team is not going to be allowed to come, or we're not going to show up. And I'm betting you dollars to donuts that's what happened at the IOC. And the USOC took a look at that and saying, no, we can't really risk that. I don't think this was a moral outrage decision on the part of the USOC. I think this was done for the most.
Oops.
What the hell happened?
It sounds like you got you're muted out for a second. I think you had some issues with your audio. Are you still good?
I'm good now. Where did I drop out?
Just now. It wasn't very long. So
okay. So yeah, ultimately what it boiled down to is that the USOC, it wasn't any moral outrage on the part of the USOC. It was the fact that it's like they could not afford to be booted out of the Olympics because they decided to support trans rights. And that's what my personal suspicion on this was. It wasn't because they happened to agree with Riley Gaines or the conservatives or whatever. They just realized it's sort of like, no, the wind's turned against us. We can't do this. We can't have this. We can't have the entire team not being allowed to go to the Olympics over one trans athlete. And there's way too much money involved, because remember we were talking about that movie with Nintendo. They decided to go with an actual female to play a female character, right? Same thing, right? Too much money involved, and now there's too much of a track record of events like this for them to be taking any chances and taking any hits, because the economy is probably going, I don't necessarily going to say it's going to go into a depression, but it's going to be a very nasty recession here within another year or two. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Roger.
Well, I mean, I think that the reason why we've been seeing a lot of this wokeism is because of government funding, particularly from the United States.
USAID, for instance.
Exactly. And once the money ran out there, you've got a lot of people who freaking are out of jobs, and you got a lot of people who are starving because I'm not saying literally starving either. I'm just using it figuratively, but basically what it is that money's not there anymore, and you've got people that are saying, look, man, we're sick and tired of this crap, and they're not being motivated by cash. Even these people who are wokesters need to wake up and realize, man, that these organizations don't give a damn about you. They don't care about what you think or how you feel or what your ideologies are. What they care about is the cold, hard cash. You give them the money, they will censor, they will block, they will do everything. Even Facebook and YouTube has done an about face since Trump put an end to freaking all of that cash flow. And that should tell you something. I literally have had 4 or 5 episodes that's been taking place on YouTube now that should have been blocked if it was 8 months ago. And I would have been in serious trouble. But guess what? They've gone through now, and there's only one reason that could have happened. It's because YouTube isn't getting the financial incentives that they were getting before, so they don't have to do it. And, it comes down to that. All of these platforms, all of these social media networks, the only reason why they were doing it was because they were getting cash from these liberal, woke politicians who were sending crap loads of money out to endorse freaking transgenderism, anything that was woke, you know what I mean? Transgenderism, the LBGBQ, HYZMZ, kind of crap. And that's all it came down to for them. That they don't care about nothing. They're so bad that they screw their own advertiser or their own freaking advertisers. That's how bad YouTube is. Facebook too. They're both actually getting lawsuits from people who are supposed to be their advertisers who have problems with all of this stuff. That's what they stand by. They always say, well, our advertisers don't agree with the way you're doing your streams because it's too outspoken and shit. They don't agree to this. But then at the same time, their advertisers, the same people who seem to have a problem with our content, are the ones who are suing Facebook, and they're suing YouTube, and they're suing all these platforms because they're getting screwed over by them too. So YouTube, Facebook, and all of them are screwing them as well as us. And nobody's getting the real story on it. And what it all comes down to is the cold hard cash. That's all they care about. And that's all I got.
All right, V.
Yeah, I don't have much on this one. I I really hope, I'll always say this. I really hope that the transgenders get their own league. Not everything has to be controversial. Not everything has to be a struggle, a war. There's enough out there for everybody to have a piece. Let's just do it right. Everybody wants to take somebody else a piece of the pie. Everybody wants to snatch the goal from someone else, literally in this case. But yeah, I don't know. I say we skip all the debates. We skip all the legal Supreme Court whatevers. Just give them a league, transgender league. And quite honest with you, I think that would lead to fewer transgenders. I mean, if these men think they're gonna just transition and go and get that gold so easily and become rich and famous so easily. Oh, well, hold on. Guess what? You got your own transgender league. So now you're put back on equal footing again. And, yeah. What? You lopped off your penis just to do this? Oh, aren't you a sucker? Yeah. Bet you think twice about doing that again if you could. But no. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody needs their own. I at this point I'm up for transgender bathrooms. I don't care anymore. People just need to get over themselves and get the hell out of my way. That's all I care about at the end of the day.
Okay, Rearson, take this topic out. Rearson.
He's masturbating to the...
Stop masturbating to Sydney Sweeney, man, and start talking.
What the
He's
hell?
got his weenie out the Sweeney.
Oh, what the hell? That's oh, good God.
He's got a weenie for Sweeney.
Oh.
I think he had one beer too many. I think he's like falling over and shit. Like,
I have fallen. I can't get up. My dick has fallen. It doesn't want to get up. That would be a blessing in disguise. Anyway, well, it was already brought up about USAID and whatever else, and with the level of chicanery and fuckery that they were sponsoring everything. And I mean, we openly had commented at the time, or kind of wondering, it's kind of funny that Doctor Who now is suddenly going into remission because of viewership. No, it's probably because of USAID funding got cut off. Can't prove it. Wouldn't be surprised, but can't prove it. Throw in as well how the Trump administration has been very aggressive with, it was already said about Liam Thomas, and any other university that's pushing the DEI crap and whatever else. You're going to get your funding revoked. And a couple of top level, high end, whatever, top tier universities and colleges have found out he's not fucking around. And so it's quite likely that the IOC in whatever country, well, at least within the US, is realizing Trump's not pulling his punches anymore. I mean, there's a lot to be said of a second-term president, because all of a sudden they're going to be pushing through a lot of stuff. The administration will be pushing through a lot of stuff that they couldn't, in the hopes of being reelected in the first term. So, not that I really give a flying fuck about the Olympics, because I don't. It's, how did Robin Williams put it? That was 2008, I think it was, when America was pushing for, I think it was Chicago, or I don't remember where the Olympics they were trying to get at the time was. It was Oprah or pussy. The whole Olympic committee and the Olympics themselves, it's incredibly corrupt. Again, go back to the closing ceremony of the London Olympics, and you see her once or twice, and what Hiroki was saying before about, certain angle shots. You could see young Greta Thunberg, or whatever the fuck her name is, Little Miss Mentally Challenged, whatever. It sure as fuck looks like her. And you have the Department of Health Services, or what the DHS in the UK is, and it seemed to indicate that COVID was coming, but they can't say it outright. You have to reinterpret what's going on, whatever. So, my faith and belief in the Olympics doesn't exist. It has not existed for a long time. And if the Olympics dies tomorrow, well, I'm not going to care. I am seriously not going to care. Now, is this what has happened in terms of the funding and the indirect pressure of, if anybody else is pushing this shit, we're going to cut you off at the knees, because that's what Trump will do? Would I be surprised? Nope. Can I say it's happened? Nope. And at the end of the day, whatever. I mean, it is a great way to continue a sense of nationalism. Not to say that isn't healthy or not important, but I'm starting to question at what point does it become irrelevant. So, I don't know. Since I currently do not have direct access to cable TV. And typically in Canada, that means that if I'm going to watch the Olympics, it's going to be on CTV because they paid a shit ton for the broadcasting rights. Well, I'm not watching that crap either. So whatever they're going to do is whatever they're going to do. And much like the broken voting systems that we have across various first world countries, even third world and second world for that matter, you can choose to participate thinking you're going to be able to make a difference, or in this case, you can think that it's actually going to make a difference if you're going to watch this shit, but it doesn't. I mean, again, I will credit Noam Chomsky for finally putting into words what I felt for a long time, is that with your basketball, football, baseball, hockey teams, whatever, soccer teams, whatever the case may be, those people, those guys that are playing, not the fucking women, bitches, just fucking go away. No one cares about you, about W whatever sports. But at the end of the day, you pay a player enough to play for your team, yeah, he'll play until he can find a better deal. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Professional athletes, whatever they are, much more often than not, are mercenaries, and they don't care. So what we're seeing with the Olympics is that it is an amateur level of, typically speaking, patriotism. I want to represent my country. Okay, yeah, sure, great, fine, fuck, whatever. Who cares? Who fucking cares? And again, you also have to look at the level of funding that goes into these programs that more often than not, most countries cannot afford to spend on the more remote possibility. And fuck. Oh, what the hell was his name? Carl Lewis? American sprinter, black guy in the 80s. He was on top of the world.
Yeah, it was Carl Lewis. Yeah, that was Carl Lewis. I could not stand that dude.
Well, yeah, and I think it wasn't him, it was somebody else in one of the Olympics, was acted like a bit of a drama queen, whatever. He basically admitted that the U.S. sprinting team, much less the U.S. Olympic teams, were notorious for doping, and they were able to get away with it. Now, not to say it was just the U.S. I mean, Ben Johnson, Canada, will leave that one alone, but, you know, like, the whole, like what I said before, that the whole Olympic Committee, or the whole Olympics, is just a corrupt cesspool of one-upmanship. I don't care anymore. Like, again, if the Olympics just suddenly stop tomorrow, oh well, whatever. Life goes on, and you know what? Life will go on. It's just not going to go on. That the Olympics will not go on for me. So, like I said, Oprah or pussy, and and that's what the Olympics is all about. Who's going to pay these people off the most? And that's where the money's going to go. What did I hear? Calgary was looking at putting in a bid again under Nenshi, if I remember right, when he was mayor. And there was the subtle implication of, well, whatever the Olympic Committee wants, we will do everything we can to get that for them. Anything. So, at this point now, I'm thinking, kids, I wouldn't be surprised. And I have to wonder, on that note, as to how many people that are working for the IOC in every country, how many of them are kitty dealers? And that's all I got to say. Nothing more.
Okay, all right. Last topic of the night, and this one, yeah, I've been looking forward to this one. I didn't know about this because I don't fucking pay attention to CBC, but somebody informed Better Bachelor that CBC did a story about the Red Pill, the Manosphere, and Joe Rogan, and Better Bachelor tore it apart. I looked at the highlights over on it, and it was like, oh my, like, you know, it's the reason why I felt it was necessary to bring this up is because I have been noticing a trend, in particular on Facebook, but on Instagram and a lot of the other social media sites as well. What you're getting, what used up until probably about a year or so ago, a year and a half ago, what would used to, somewhere between about a year and a half ago, you know, you would get these male trolls. They would these fucking white knights. They would come in and they would throw around insults, and they were easy enough to fucking defeat. So, like, basically, you would just report them to the admin, and the admin would eventually get around to blocking them or banning them. But I mean, you know, I used to like playing around with these idiots because it's like they had no substance to their arguments, right? Like, they would come in, they would post up some stupid shit, and they would just like, eventually they would get blocked or removed. They would just simply give up. There was a couple of them that were really, really bad. There was one individual for a couple of years. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to give him any credit, but his initials were SM. And he was a particularly nasty troll. The only problem is that, again, right, all he had was a bunch of fucking ad hominem. Now, what has happened in the last year or so, and by the way, the women that came into these sites, they would make a couple fucking snarky comments, and they would get fucking dogpiled because, again, right, and by the way, I'm going to get to the point on this right away here. They never did any fucking research. Like, they didn't know even the white knights, they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, right? And they'd step in, you'd hand them their ass a few times, and they'd figure out that they wouldn't know that they were in the wrong neighborhood, they were messing with the wrong people, and they would leave. In particular, the women, they would make one or two snarky comments and then they would go, right? Because it's like they would start to face serious blowback. What has happened, and it's getting worse as I go along, is that you're getting an increased number of these so-called white knight idiots who just come in and make these fucking butthurt, stupid fucking comments, right? And they will just keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And of course, they're easy to make fools of. But what I have been seeing, especially in the last 6 months, is you're starting to see women come into these manospheres, and they're doing the exact same thing. Now, up until about 6 months ago, you would hand them their ass once or twice and they would flee. But now they're doggedly sticking in. Like, they will stand in there and they will fight with you. Even no matter how stupid their arguments are, they will stand in there and they will fight and fight and fight. And some of them to the fucking point of absolute. Some of them. Well, I was dealing with one, and you're gonna fucking love this. I was dealing with one yesterday. She said misandry ain't real, and it's sort of like, and I like literally posted up examples to prove that misandry was real. And like, her excuse for being that is because men are the oppressor and women are the victimizers. Victimizers can't be misandric. And it's like, you know, that's the same fucking bullshit I hear out of like Native Americans and non-whites saying that they can't be racist towards white because of the oppress. And same thing with the Israeli Gaza Strip thing. oh, well, they're the oppressors. They can't be this way. It's like, that's total fucking bullshit, right? Like, some of the worst people on the planet historically, are from broken and abusive homes where they had the oppressor victim mentality, had the oppressor victim thing going on. Like, don't fucking tell me that just because you're a victim of oppression or that you grew up in a system that fucking held you down, that you can't become evil, right? Because you can. In fact, I'm going to bring, in fact, one of the, and this isn't really, I'm not talking about real life, I'm talking about gaming here, specifically role-playing game. There is a world that I think we all remember called Dragonlance, the original Dragonlance series. Ariakas came from a home where his dad was a worshiper of Takesis, and he would beat his son and his wife every fucking night. Like, abuse them, like, badly. And Ariakas eventually killed his dad, and he took over. But yeah, like, he grew up under that oppressor victim mentality. So don't come and tell me that victims can't. In fact, yes, there are a lot of people who grew up in an environment like that. Like, I come from a very abusive environment like that. And my vow, at least with me, is that I would not treat anybody specifically around me like that. And I just assumed that anybody else who came from that type of an environment would do the same. And I was wrong. You know, like, people from that environment are some of the worst abusers that I have come out with. Now, the reason why I am saying this is because, you know, the CBC story had so many lies in it and did so little research. You know, first of all, they brought up Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson in this TV show, and neither one of those two guys is really tied into the Manosphere in any way. Of course, they also brought up Andrew Tate, and of course, again, anybody who knows anything about who's familiar with the Manosphere in any real serious fashion knows that Andrew Tate is not the biggest name in the Manosphere. He's the most recognized name in the Manosphere. Right, he's the most well-known name in the Manosphere outside of the Manosphere, and the reason why he is like that is because he's bold, he's brash, he's opinionated, he lives in a fucking mansion, smokes cigars, and struts around, and drives a fucking Bugatti everywhere, and fucking has women on his arm, right? You know, like, he's, like, right out there, right in front. And he kind of reminds me of a guy back from, some of you guys might remember this guy, Milo Yiannopoulos used to be like that, right? But he's not the biggest name. He's just the most visible person. Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos used to fucking drive an Aston Villa, wore really expensive fucking suits, was loud, brash, opinionated, you know,
but he didn't have girls on his arms.
No, he didn't have. But I mean, no. But the personality, he had guys on his arms. But I mean, it was like, you know, he had the same type of vibe that Andrew Tate does. You know, dressed well, drove an Aston Villa, was bold and outspoken, and in the case of Milo Yiannopoulos, he was flamboyant, right? So they bring these people up and they throw these people in. And of course, like, Andrew Tate's the big bad boogeyman, right? And Jordan Peterson's the subtle underhanded villain, and they got that really creepy music in the background or whatever. And they bring up Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is not a member of the Manosphere. Never has been. A lot of people in the Manosphere listen to Joe Rogan, but he's not a member of the Manosphere. Then it gets worse. And the part that really blew my mind is that they literally had a guy on this show come out, and yeah, I know this is going to sound, because none of us really have, well, Rurson's got a son, but most of us here don't have any kids and haven't gone through a divorce. Like, this asshole, this fucking soy boy, literally lied and said that the divorce statistics that the guys in the Manosphere are saying are outright lies and they're just not happening. Like, men are winning almost all of the custody cases. Yeah, he actually said that. Right? It's the fact that the mainstream media just seems to assume that we're fucking stupid and that we can't fact check anything that they're doing. And it just, it was like, you need to get, I'm just saying, with both of these issues, you need to be paying a little bit more attention to this, because this is going to be something that you're going to be, especially if you're in the Manosphere, you're going to be dealing with stuff like this more and more and more and more frequently as you go along, right? And, like, you're seeing feminists and white knights come into these Manosphere spaces and take hits, and they're willing to come in there and dogmatically defend their fucking stupidity to the point where they look like complete fucking idiots. And they're so unironic and so stupid that they will keep going even after they've been made to look like fools. And again, I have yet to meet a single one of these individuals that has tried to come in and do this. And I was dealing with two of them today. In fact, I might even have to deal with these two idiots tomorrow, right? The first one started whining because I was being rude and insulting her. And it was like, well, like, you're going on to first of all, you're cherry picking the post that you want to go on. You're lying about misandry doesn't exist. You're lying. And when I challenge you, the only thing you come up with is fucking snark. Right? And they are, and this is, by the way, this is not just the Manosphere, but I'm using this as an allegory here. Because when I was talking about topic number 4 tonight, what I was mentioning about that is, initially when I thought that guy, that Nashville city councilor had been set on fire and that it was politically motivated, is that what you're attempting to see now is that they can't just sit back and laugh at us anymore, right? It's not working anymore. The mainstream media is losing the battle in very rapid order here, and they're losing the ability to and the influence. So they're running out of cards to play. And some of those cards include the Online Safety Act or the Kids Online Safety Act, and they're trying to use bought and paid for and woke judges and in places where they do actually have power, they're trying to they're passing bills that allow this degeneracy to continue, but they can't win in the big picture because the media just doesn't have the influence that it used to have. And it's like people are finding out one piece at a time that, like it's just they're losing badly. So they've now reached the point where they have to have the politicians run block for them. And it probably 6 months to a year when it becomes very, very clear that smear pieces in the media and political power isn't going to work. That's when things really are going to start to get violent. So yeah, next year. By the way, next year is critical for a lot of things. Next year is the point where the Manosphere hits critical mass. and actually becomes potentially politically viable. Next year is the point where the online advertising space is going to become bigger than the mainstream base. Like, there's a lot of things that are going to shift in the next 12 to 18 months. And you're probably going to see the lying, and you're going to start to see a lot more of these dogmatic individuals come into these groups and make stories like the CBC one, where they literally, and they did not do a lick of fucking research. Like, they didn't do any research, right? They went over to Wikipedia, read Wikipedia, went over to some feminist sites, took information from feminist sites, and then they just ran with it. You know, like, the whole time I've been in the Manosphere, I have only been contacted by one fucking academic who wanted to know my opinion about the Manosphere, right? Like, I don't see reporters and researchers and curious people from the media coming in and asking people in the Manosphere questions. It's not happening. And because it's not happening, they keep getting it wrong. And when they keep getting it wrong, they keep getting owned, and they keep getting more frustrated. So yeah, it is building up to something. And the CBC story was just, well, for one, it's in Canada. For what? And like the CBC, and Rusin can back me up on this. The CBC is an absolute fucking joke here, isn't it, Rusin?
Oh, just you wait until I get my turn at this one.
Yeah. It's So good on Better Bachelor for tearing the show a new one. It was, this show was an absolute fucking joke. Like, just an absolute goddamn joke. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Roger. Hi, Roger. Yeah, you can stop jerking off to Sydney Sweeney, and you can actually start commenting now. Okay, V, Roger does not seem to be available at the moment, so take over for him.
Gooner.
Roger eats a barrel of the Orange Man ham bob. Just saying. to stop that chafing.
Yeah. Gooning his ween to the swing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not at all. You know, that, and you talk about this issue, especially with these females, like it's relatively new to you. I've dealt with these types ever since I've been in a social space online. These exact types that you speak about, these females they will say the dumbest things. They'll make up the dumbest things just to try to win 1 point in a dramatically losing argument. It's overwhelmingly, it's like, you really don't know what the hell it is you're talking about. It is funny having to school these people, because they're going with their hearts. They're going with their hearts with this. Forget academia. Forget anything else. They're going with their heart, and God bless them for that. But this is real world, and no amount of naysaying and having your head up your ass can change any of the facts about anything that's going on around you. So it's these people that I avoid And it was hard to do, especially, having a radio show and everything. People want to know my opinion about everything. And when you get that prompt, because you're going to get these people who are not going to agree with what you're going to say, and it's like, is it even worth the time? It's like, okay, you have your opinions, but I have my research, and I have years of experience, and I've got a talk show. I've got, I've run down these things. Like, dude, you're some guy that works in a sandwich shop. Like, why are you trying to tear me down? So I just don't. I don't know. But yeah, I find the females are the worst. And typically, it just devolves into name calling after 1 or 2 points lost from their arguments. And of course, you get nowhere with that. You just get another hater, another stalker, another detractor. And it's damaging to one's own cause if you have one. So I just don't. Since I put my show on hiatus, I'm so glad. I just don't. I don't do it. I don't get into political talk with anyone, really, unless they are coming to me for some sort of guidance. And it works the same the other way. If I find someone that's extremely knowledgeable, yeah, let's have a chat. I want to learn. I'm not one of these people who have to dominate the conversation or be Mr. Know-It-All. If there's a benefit from the conversation, then let's have it. If not, then let's not. Bark up the wrong tree, move it or stop. So, yeah, I don't know why, Roki, why you even get excited about these people.
Well, it's not that they're not, again, right? Like, on the surface, they don't seem to be particularly, and they're not, right? The only issue is, and this has been my mentality from the beginning on this, is that I've been around for a while. I can see through their bullshit, right? People who have been in this sphere for a while can see through their bullshit. The only problem is that, well, not the only problem. The thing is, though, is that there's like new people coming in to the just into MGTOW. You're talking about like more or less between like 15 and 30,000 a month. That's actually, I think it's close to like 30,000, like somewhere between 15 and 30,000 new people just into MGTOW each month. The Manosphere is, in total, we're adding almost an army fucking group each month at this point, worldwide. A lot of those people don't know the terms, they don't know the lingo, they don't know the propaganda, they don't know the issues, right? And when you have these people in here doing damage like this or trolling around like this, right? Like, one of these people might just fucking say or bully somebody or do something that causes that fucking individual to leave. And that individual, in some cases, not all, but in some cases, that individual's life might be on the fucking line. And these people are here stroking their fucking egos and potentially hurting people just so they can be fucking bullies. Right? That's my take on it, right? If somebody is going to come into the space and be a troll and be a bully and be a liar and potentially cause somebody to not get the help and the support that they need, You know what? You know what? I got to make sure that these people are at least seen and they're tolerated. If they're just tolerated and ignored, right? Like,
And
they have to be seen being fucking challenged, being fucking called out, right? It doesn't matter whether I drive them off. It doesn't matter whether I win. They have to be made to be looking. They have to be made to look like fools. They have to be made to be put. They said, hey, put in their place, but they have to be made to be put. They have to be made to know that if they're going to come into this space, if they're going to start throwing around. It's like, think about it, man. Like, if I went into a space of people that I disagreed with and started throwing fucking in real life, like in a playground or in a building or something, I would go into a place and I start fucking throwing insults around and insulting people to their face, right? Like, I'd get the shit kicked out of me, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you have to do this, right? If you have, it is a space for men to vent. It is a space for men to get shit out of their systems. It is a space for men to maybe figure themselves out. Yes, a lot of them aren't going to figure themselves out. Yes, some of them are fucking mentally damaged. Yes, some of them are whatever, right? But there's a lot of them that aren't, right? And tolerating someone like this in the space and letting him go unchallenged, for me, is unacceptable. Right?
Well, okay.
I don't want to have to do it, but they have to be seen doing. Also, I'm not done. Also, the other thing that comes up with this is that when I do this to one of them, one of their other little fucking stooges that's just coming in here to do the same thing, they see that fucking person getting their ass handed to them badly. They see that person getting metaphorically put up on a fucking stake and having their head fucking lopped off, metaphorically speaking, of course. You see this person, they see that person getting eviscerated. That other fucking bully might think fucking twice about coming in. Anyway, that's my take on it. Go ahead, V.
Yeah, I mean, so short. I'll try to make this very, very, very short. So, as I'm going through all this targeted individual stuff, my area of things I talk about, and so so on Facebook, and of course I'm known through all the targeted individual groups. Everybody knows me. They know my show. They know about the technology. They've seen my breakdowns of innumerable things, and just explaining to my community how things are and how they work. So there's one new TI who comes through and just starts doing his stuff around, his weight around, just brand new. And I should be the leader. People should be listening to me. Like, who are you? I'm a celebrity jeweler. I'm Hollywood. I'm a star. I'm like, okay, wow, all right, okay. So celebrity jeweler. Yeah. So how does that qualify you again? Because they wanted me. Da 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 da. He's got his own scripts, his own way that he's targeted. So okay, well that. Okay, so why are you throwing shade at me? Why are you throwing shade in my direction? Because people need to be listening to me and how long you been targeted? And then so after I would say about half a year of him threatening me and literally threatening to murder me, stalking me online, I've had to I filed stuff with the FBI and whatnot. This guy is so unhinged. Finally, we get to a conversation where a back and forth where he's saying, "Yeah, I just went to the LAPD. I know people there, and I watch people for them." It's like, didn't you just call me a gang stalker? Didn't you call me? Do you know what a gang stalker is? Yeah, it's people who no. You just joined up with the people and became a gang stalker. Boom. That was it. He never argued with me ever again. So yeah, I understand there are people that can be led astray and all that, but and some people do need to be challenged and checked publicly. But for me personally, I like to see people fall flat on their faces without my involvement.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're gonna fall right on their flat. But here, let me assist you in falling on your face faster. Roger, I see you're here now, so go ahead.
To be honest, guys, I'm just here to see Sydney Sweeney's titties. They were beautiful, and I'm so happy to find out that she is just a slut, dude. Thank you. No, see, you guys get all this cool shit. Like, you get like freaking all these freaking people coming on and threatening your life and shit over like Manosphere stuff and cool stuff like that. Now, in my habit, what I have a habit of doing is I talk shit to people who are supposed to be conservatives and people who are supposed to be liberals, and I say things they don't want to hear because all of them they're not really conservatives. First off, they're just like socialist bastards, all of them, even people who claim to be Democrats and shit. And when I say that, and then I start attacking their God, their religions, which I believe there's a difference between spiritual life and religious life. And when I start doing that and I start telling them that they worship freaking ancient alchemists and shit, and that their gods are like nothing more than metaphors for like ancient magic and ancient freaking alchemy and shit, they get all angry and start coming on my freaking channel and criticizing me because, you look at you just talking all that shit, you don't even get freaking 1,000 views. Like the best thing they can freaking do is come up with stupid shit like that. When the only thing that freaking they do is they take shitloads of money and pour it into their promote buttons and shit, and then freaking get like,
why would you want to do that, man? Like, why would I want to pay money to promote myself? There's something very nice and niche about seeing your channel grow organically. Like,
exactly.
Like when the day before 2 days before I took my 40-year clean cake, right? Like, my combined moat on all 5 of my channels passed the total number of subs I had on my YouTube channel when it got taken down.
I mean, and it's real. You know what I'm saying?
And they're real. It's not. None of them are. Well, there might be some guys on Rumble who are some of those like the ones who keep telling me that they want to help promote my fucking content. I've got a few people like that follow me, but most of it is organic.
Most of those are muted on mine. I as soon as they send me the messages in the comment section, I mute them forever. They can stay on the channel if they want, but they're muted. They ain't got no comments anymore,
I don't bother comment. I don't bother replying to them. Right? There's
but the thing I'm getting at is it's like freaking it doesn't matter what you say. If you say something that's against these establishment assholes, they're gonna attack you. You know what I mean? And today, the biggest trend is being gay and being transsexual and being this. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything wrong with queers. Just don't be touching my dick. You know what I mean? It's like freaking that's the whole thing that I have a concern with when it comes to gay people. And like queers. You know what I'm saying? A queer is a queer. When I was growing up, a queer was the guy that drove around the block looking at frickin' teenage boys and wanting to pick them up. You know what I mean? And if you were ever a long-haired frickin' stoner dude in frickin' 1980s and 90s, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, that's a queer, and they're unacceptable. They tried to pacify that word like it was like queers aren't like that. They're good people. No, queers are queers. And that's not a transgender. Back in the day, transgenders used to be transvestites. They were the weirdos that dressed up like freaking women and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now,
CDs.
yeah. And now they're calling them transgender. No, you're a freaking cross-dresser, man. You're a freaking a transvestite. You know what I mean? That's all it is. We didn't see them as much, but they were still there. So, I mean, but now it's trendy is my whole point. And when you speak out against that kind of stuff, you're going against the grain and they're going to attack you. Just like with me, you know, I don't tolerate freaking stupidity when it comes to religion, especially Christians. When Christians turn around and say they love Jesus and then they freaking support freaking murder and mayhem and they think that it's just and it's right, that's not right. You know what I mean? Don't be using a person who is meant to be freaking a representation of love and peace for
and want to condemn you to hell too.
Right.
Everything you're doing is wrong. You're going to hell.
Right. You know, just don't be trying to use them as a tool, freaking, so that you can do evil things and support evil things. That's the way I feel about it. I also get Buddhists mad because freaking nobody notices the fact that Buddha in every freaking statue is always sitting in the lotus position. And if you know anything about anything, you know that is a freaking esoteric meaning, okay? Period. It's involving freaking alchemy as well as sex magic. You know, and I say that to them and they all look at me and they're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. Because whenever they think of like sex magic, they think it's for sex. But you can also hold sex back.
And channel it. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
You know what I mean? And nobody catches on to that. And they get so mad when I say that stuff. But, hey, what can you say? But all I got to say to haters is this, man. I don't care as long as I get to see Sydney Sweeney's boobs. Titties. That's all that matters, dude. All that matters.
It's just about the titties tonight. It's just about.
No, it's always about the titties.
At least you're being honest.
You know, not just tonight. Always.
It's always about Sydney Sweeney's boobies. Okay, are you done? We're going to go on to Pearson now.
I want to end by saying that I apologize to you, Naroki, because freaking you were right. Her titties were big. I told you. That's it.
He checked the Warren report.
No, I actually
went and got a FOIA.
I actually went on. I'm dead serious. I went on freaking Bing and I searched her.
You looked up Sydney Sweeney titties and you saw them, and it was like
I didn't even have to type titties in, dude. She is a slut, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. Collective mortarboard sounds here.
When V was telling me about that TV show, I was like, dude, I gotta check this out. And I mean, I went on there and bam, dude, it's like freaking, she's got more freaking videos about her titties than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No
All right,
monetization
Rison,
here,
take
folks.
us out.
Oh,
Take
God.
us out.
okay, back to the CBC. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. We're talking about the same organization that a person of Indian descent, I believe, basically said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yeah,
and it went and it went viral enough within Canada. CBC, much like Justin Trudeau and his administration, was all about diversity of race, not of thought, but of race, if such a word exists, which to me it doesn't. And apparently, according to a friend of mine, she sent me this information about 3 days ago, 2 days ago, anyway, whatever the case may be, is that the CBC has, and this is what apparently it was called, was a crying room because my feelings are hurt. You know, the usual shit that we would expect from
the CB. Oh my God.
From a leftist organization. So, do these points match directly to the whole thing with what Joker brought out on Better Bachelor? Not directly, but it is a strong indication of how things actually are over there. And let's not forget that in terms of CBC viewership within Canada is at historic lows. They get, well, I think they're about $1.14 billion or $1.25 billion a year. And in essence, hey, this is the epitome of diversity in media that can keep going because there doesn't seem to be any limit to the bottom of the barrel that they can keep on scraping through. This is what DEI would love to have in Disney or whatever other platform that's out there, and keep spewing out their bullshit, and to be able to get away with it because, well, it's taxpayer funded. Now, I don't know about any of you gentlemen, but if we heard about this kind of shit in China or North Korea or some Russia, shall we say, none of us would be terribly surprised. None of us. But because it is a, quote, reputable news organization that is the mouthpiece, in more ways than one, as Naroki's picture was up there before, for the Liberal Party of Canada, which has been in power for a long period of time. And when the Conservatives were running things, they were, I can pretty much guarantee you, they were very much opposed to any of this. So you want to talk about communism in Canada? I can point to one organization that would be a great start to take a look at and to peel back the layers of the onion, because they is dirty as shit. Actually, they're more dirty than shit. So I didn't listen to what Joker had to say, but I'm pretty sure the way that he breaks everything down and probably backing it up with Grok X's AI, no doubt that I won't be the least bit surprised at all. So my distaste and my level of contempt for CBC and the likes of it, which is pretty much all Canadian media, because now they're all bought and paid for. And they're happy to toe the line. Even the once were the more neutral but probably conservative leaning was the news organization of Global News, and Global got bought out in 2018, so they know what's going on, and they're just trying to find ways to preemptively deflect and redirect any sort of grievances. And yeah, here you go.
Here's the problem, and it's not us, it's everybody else. So, fucking whatever. The day that the CBC is fully canceled, whether it's through whatever means, I suppose is probably the best way to say it, is the day that my version of Alberta, not Canada, Alberta, is going to be a little bit better than it was before. So I got nothing to say on this one anymore other than that. So crying rooms aside, yeah, CBC's full of fucking pussies. And that's all I got.
Okay, I'm going to add a nice photo here because Roger just can't seem to stop talking about her. I found something from Euphoria for you here, Roger.
Show us them titties.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me find it here. Yep,
Tits,
there it is.
Tits, 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 tits. Tits.
And there we go.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, those are nice nipples.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, those are huge. My God.
Those
well,
aren't.
areolas.
That's
They're
not even.
areolas.
That's not even the worst part. They got more of them on there. I'm sure he's being a little conservative.
He's
Conservative.
Yeah.
He's holding it back.
Yeah. Like,
Don't want to come. Don't want to come. Don't want to come.
like that's some of the ones I've seen on there was just completely amazing, dude. Like,
I wouldn't say no to those in my face. If those were going to suffocate me, I'd be like, I don't want to die, but if I'm going to die, I'll be happy with these.
I'll be happy to suffocate in those. Yes, sirree, Bob. Anyway, that is it for tonight, folks. There you go. The last parting shot of Sydney Sweeney's boobs, and I'm going to go back to the number.
In more ways
I want to
than one.
thank, and I'm going to thank everybody who actually stuck around and listened. I'm going to have to figure out how Roger, like in the next 3 or 4 days or so.
mm-hmm.
I am going to have to figure out how to get BitChute and Odyssey back in here because I can't seem to remember how to do it. One last thing I got to point out here because I forgot to mention it because we kept talking about Sydney Sweeney's boobs all the time. This particular photo, that was the photo, that was the vote to keep trans athletes out of female sport. Now take a look at that. Not a single fucking Democrat voted for it. Like about 10 of them decided not to vote,
Yeah,
but not a single Democrat. Not one.
Those 10 were smart, and they knew that they weren't going to win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a one. Anyway,
They're the right side of history, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, it was like not a single one of them, and it was just like wow. Like there's some of them. So it's like I'm guessing that the ones that knew better just decided to not vote.
There's money involved in it, though. You got to think that on the level of money, the Democrats make these organizations so that they can funnel money through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that goes into their pockets too.
Yep. All right. Well, that is it for this week. I just maybe should be calling this the Sydney Sweeney boobs episode because we kept talking about her boobs. Oh,
Masturbation. Call it the masturbation meeting of the minds.
Yep, exactly. Anyway, that is it for tonight.
Tonight was the chafing
yeah. I really should have been really good and chafed tonight.
Red Pill, that's okay. This episode was brought to you by Orange Man Hand Balm, which is designed to prevent chafing.
Okay.
That's right, Orange Man Bad Hand Balm.
That's what I'm talking about.
And of course, new to Orange Man Bad Hand Balm is Orange Man Bad Deep Tissue Massage. God damn it! I had an idea for a new sponsor. Now I can't even remember what the hell I was. I'm gonna have to write it down for next time.
Doesn't have to have
Kamala Harris's new book.
Oh yeah,
7 days of being a jackass.
A bike inner tube.
I can't remember what it was that new commercial sponsor. I can't remember who the hell it was. It'll probably come back to me. I'll use it again some other time. Oh, one other thing though. Galactic Fire's stuff products line is in the low bar if you want to take a look at it. And yes, by the way, I am also at Patreon as the Red Pill Nation, which of course I totally forgot to post up, except for now, right here at the very end. There you go. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Yeah, I'll have to not now, Roger, because I'm about ready to go to bed.
I know.
Go to bed. But I'll have to figure. I wanted to have to figure out how Odyssey and BitChute work again because I tried to get them attached today and it just wouldn't work. So, all right, that is it, folks. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
You too.